What is this with everybody?
No.
What is it? Really?
Only me. It's
Why?
my fault.
I'm serious. Fucking A, man.
What was that?
It's one of my new drops.
I kind of like it. I'm a big fan of drops. I grew up with morning radio, and I always loved the little sound effects and stuff.
That would be the one and only David Lynch, director.
Oh, I should have noticed that voice. You're right.
And he basically was reacting to a lady saying, well, the scene is 6 minutes and 5 seconds. And he's just like, it doesn't matter about how long the scene is. Just fucking do it. And then somebody had said something. He's like, come on, man, fuck off. Like, leave me. That's why he went off, because some fucking AD was just like, well, it's 6 minutes and 5 seconds. It's like, are you telling me how to direct my movie, bitch?
Yeah, David Lynch is a real one. Might be a good topic for a future deep dive.
Yes. Yes.
I have watched a lot of his stuff.
Yeah.
So, yep.
My favorite director is David Fincher. Fight Club.
I don't know who that is. Who is that? Oh, that was a great movie. I don't know David Fincher.
Seven.
That movie was great too.
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite director. So we'll definitely deep dive on some of the directors.
Cool.
It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Have you ever watched any Alfred Hitchcock movies?
I saw Vertigo and Psycho.
Here's the thing: is Hitchcock is arguably one of the greatest directors of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he didn't go to art. He didn't go to film school. Everything that he created is because he was interested in photography.
No kidding. And
his movies are shot like a photographer. Everything is very beautiful. Everything's got layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
So he never had formal training. He basically went in and said, this is how I want to tell stories. So you've got people that on both sides that some people are like, I hate fucking Hitchcock. And it's like, he never went to fucking film school. And you're following the shots that he created. But then you hate Hitchcock. And it's just like, some of these people are just, they're not educated. Like I said, they're LARPers. They just want to be a movie. They want to make movies, but they don't actually educate themselves on the process or what was before you. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's a good point and a good topic. Sometimes getting overeducated about the way, quote, things are supposed to be done.
Yeah.
Is it detriment to your creativity? I was in a band. I had a guy who went to the California Guitar Institute, which is like the top guitar place in the country. I think it was out in Hollywood, LA. Over there.
Yep, Hollywood Boulevard.
And another guy who
yeah.
studied piano and percussion at Berkeley School of Music.
Okay.
And they would come and play with me. And I asked them, like, why are you playing with me? I just strum. And they said they had two things that really stuck with me. One of them said,
Dave!
What's up, Dave?
What's happening, buddy?
The guy said, some people like to play, and you're a writer. And players like to play, like, because I kept asking the guy, I'm like, why don't you write something? You're amazing. He goes, I'm a guitar player, not a writer. Or I'm an actor, not a director. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so, I forget where I was going, actually, with this. I had a point, and now I lost it. Oh, the other guy, I wrote a song, and he goes, those chords shouldn't go next to each other. And I'm like, according to who? And
who made the rule book?
He goes, your ignorance actually is helpful in this process. Because I didn't know you weren't supposed to put an A-flat-7 against a G minor. I don't know. And it helps sometimes because you try things that you shouldn't try that might work.
I know Van Halen did. I know Eddie Van Halen did it, and I guarantee there was a couple other ones that used a drill on his guitar. Did anybody say, you know what, you can't do that?
No, that rule, that song was Pound Cake, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's bad. Same with Jimmy Page with Led Zeppelin used the fucking violin bow on his guitar.
Did somebody say, you know what, there's some rules about using a violin bow on your guitar?
That's right.
All right, so here's the first one we got for, let's see here.
Oh, poor Blockbuster. It probably closed because I never returned any videos.
I think there's a lot of people that are like that.
People got upset when Blockbuster closed, but I personally wasn't very upset. To me, Blockbuster was a glamorized, overprocessed, shined-up version of the original video rental stores I grew up going to. It's the kind of place that felt more like a home, and maybe even smelled like one too. So let's backpedal a bit and visit your local video rental store.
Imagine
maximize
the
it,
perfect
Derek?
video store. It would have a great selection, right? Right! Over 10,000 videos. 3 evening rentals, so no rush, no hassle.
See, that's the thing with video stores, is it was an experience. When you went there, you got popcorn and you're walking around looking at all the movies that with the cool different covers and all that stuff. And it was like, yeah.
Now, when you grew up, Derek, since you're younger than I, or as somebody in the chat said last show that you're my son, apparently. It's a father-son show. Were there still mom and pop videos when you were coming up?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it was an experience. And when I remember when I was real small, VCRs were expensive.
Oh, hell yeah.
And only rich people had VCRs. So then at some point in, I want to say the mid to late 80s, VCRs were a lot more affordable.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are going to video stores, including myself, where it was like, it was an experience when you went there.
And do you remember how much it cost if you wanted to buy a movie on VHS? It was like $90, $80 for a movie to take home and own.
Back then that was a lot of money. That's a lot of money now.
Hell yeah. People bitch about, I have to pay $10 for YouTube Premium. I'm like, shut up. I had to pay like $89 for a copy of Star Wars.
Yeah, no shit.
Hold on. When I think of the perfect video rental store, I don't think of Blockbuster. I think further back to a time before the fancy chain video.
See, that was the thing, is that there was a lot of indie films that would be in your local video store that would actually get somebody to pay attention. Now people just have their algorithms and they don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. But back then, you could actually have somebody look at your video based off of the cover. So if you had a cool cover, it's like, okay, let me check this one out. And it could have been good, it could have been shit, but at least you gave it a shot, you know?
That, and when you were going to Video Quest for a video, like you're saying, the guy who worked there knew his fucking shit.
Yeah.
He was like a librarian. He knew where all the... Just like I would imagine with like our friend Dave's show on BTM, it's like modern day bourbon stores. You want to go to a store where the guy knows what he's talking about, the proprietor. When it switched to Blockbuster, everybody was just employees, and they're like, let's just inventory. I don't know anything about anything.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
Blockbuster
did.
was cool.
They did, Dave. Yep.
We had some Blockbusters near me, but ours was Family Video. Or no, enough. Family Video, and then we had Hollywood Video in Michigan. And there were some Blockbusters here and there, but yeah, we had Family and Hollywood.
We started with the mom and pop stores. Then there was one called Errol's where I grew up in Maryland that did, not only could you go rent videos from them, but they had internet service. So you can get your movies, and for whatever a month, you got your dial-up internet access. You got an Errol's.com email account and stuff. And then Blockbuster showed up, and it was fucking over for all the mom and pops.
Well, I think the biggest thing was they were a little bit cheaper than the mom and pops as far as the rentals, because they would have 40 copies of the one movie that if you went to the mom and pops, they only had like 2. And then when you walked in there, and if it was a really popular movie, you couldn't rent it because somebody else had it out.
Yep, it was volume.
Yeah.
As the
So
saying
Blockbuster
goes.
would have 50 copies, and then you could just go see whatever movie that you wanted to see.
Yep.
Because back then it was, I mean, now it's what? In the theaters, and then a month later it's on streaming. Mm-hmm. Back then it was what? 6 months to a year after it was in the theaters that you could actually rent it.
I swear, Superman 2 was at my local theater for at least a year. At the same theater.
Yeah.
Just never left.
So if you wanted to buy your favorite movie or whatever, you had to wait a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And then it's like by that time, you found something else that you liked. So it's like the newness of it, or the you being excited about it faded because it was a year and a half until the movie came on VHS.
But the interesting thing about the times back then is you didn't forget it. Whereas now, if it would be out of your mind as a young 20-year-old in 2025 in like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas there wasn't a lot of other stuff to think about back then. So you remember, like, oh, I can't wait for this to come out. Oh, that's true, Doc. They did do the
A time when the only place you could rent a movie was at your local and, odds are, the only video rental store. Usually it was a place with a catchy name like Home.
I want to rent from that place with a chick.
All right, let's roll that back. That was all right.
Or usually it was a place with a catchy name like
Hey now.
Home Video
That 80s hairdo.
or Video Time or Real Deal Video Store. The one in my town was called A to Z Video, and I can still remember the layout and smell it to this day. Most times they were located in a...
It smelled like must and plastic, and it was great.
Is this guy me? Because the video store, the mom and pop video store I used to go to when I was a kid was in a strip mall just like this next to a beer store.
Oh, really?
And me and my buddies would go to the video store, figure out a movie to get, and then go try to find us somebody to buy us beer because we were 15 years old.
You ever seen Clerks?
I love Clerks. That's one of my favorite movies.
They always go in the videos like, how much is this? And there's like a big ass sign that says $2.
Yeah. Randall from Clerks is like my spirit animal. I love it. Love him. Yeah, that's right, Dave. Yeah, you had to put some money down to be able to rent because they knew degenerates like me would just not.
Well, and they also had the porn section, so you had to be like 18, right?
Oh, well, ish. You had to be 18 to get back into that section.
I mean, some of the skeezy places probably had 16, but yeah, for the most part, you had to be 18.
Yeah.
And of course, you're just kind of like near it, just like,
No, dude, all the time. I'm
there?
like,
and the covers were never like all out there. It was usually just like a man and woman on a cover or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I knew who Christy Canyon was when I was 15. I'll tell you that. I knew who she was.
strip mall somewhere between a pizza place and a liquor store. For those who missed out on local video rental stores, here's a quick recap. By about the mid-80s, almost everyone had a VCR. So, someone decided, hey, why not open a place where people can come and rent movies for a short time? And by 1985, there were over 15,000 local video rental stores in the US. So, you'd walk in, peruse the aisles, pick a movie, take the empty box of the video you wanted to the counter. Don't forget your video membership card. The employee, who was almost definitely the owner or the owner's kid, would search the back wall for the movie, and if they still had a copy, they would give it to you. And boom! Your weekend was set! The only rules were the tape had to be returned by a certain day, usually the next day or by the end of the weekend, and it had to be rewound.
Okay,
I wanted to make my channel called Be Kind Rewind, Please Rewind.
Oh, that would have been good.
But somebody already had it, so I couldn't do it.
So two comments on that. His first point that the guy would go to the back to get your movie is correct, because they'd have, if let's say Superman 2, to use my example, just came out on video, right? They'd have 40 covers for Superman 2 on display.
Yeah.
None of them had the tapes in them.
Oh, yeah, because people would steal them.
Right. You'd grab the empty box, go to the guy, he would go in the back and get your business and back out. The other thing is, I fell for the rewinder bit. Remember when they'd sell...
Oh, yeah, it was like a square thing, and he stuck it in there.
They're like, yeah, don't rewind it in your VCR machine.
It's like a
because
blender.
It'll ruin your VCR machine. So get this other gimmick that you can plug in. And it was just, that's all it did is rewound tapes. It was like a whole different appliance. Boy, I was stupid.
They would yell at you. Well, they would charge you, right? Like $1 or something if you didn't rewind it?
Dude, yeah, but I never returned shit while they were open because my video store had a drop box and I didn't want to get fucking shit on for having it 7 days late. So I just roll up at like 10 o'clock at night and drop it in the box and be done with it. Move on to the next video store and take advantage of them.
Oh, so you had multiple ones you could...
No, there was one on, yeah.
In the system?
Yes, there were multiple ones.
Be kind, rewind. Now, there were certain small things that set local video
man, it
rental
looked just
stores
like that.
apart from, say, Blockbuster or
That
Hollywood
curtain.
Video.
See, the character. See, that's what I'm saying. Is they had movies, and if I talked to the guy that was there, I could get into the weeds with him about movies.
Mm-hmm.
And like, hey, I love these type of movies. Like, what do you recommend? Oh, I recommend this one. This one's a good one. This and this and that. And this one is okay, but you might like it. Like, he would recommend some stuff that if you gave him like parameters of like, I like this, I like that, or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm. It was similar to old school record stores, like
It's
mom and pop record
literally
stores.
the same thing. Yeah.
You're like, I like this band. What would I like? And they fucking knew it. They're like, here, check this out. And behind that drapery there, that was where all the good stuff was.
Oh yeah, adults only.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that in the comments, Dave, but I sent you a link.
Yeah, Dave, get in here.
But yeah, this was the forbidden zone. And of course, that all pervs like myself was going,
No, well, no, you
there.
before you did that, you'd eyeball the owner or proprietor to see if he's busy with somebody else so he wouldn't notice. And then when he's over there helping some broad to get a like a kids movie for her kids, that's when you.
Well, this one would be tough to crack because there's a door that you have to open, and he would hear that open.
Mine didn't have a door; it just had a curtain.
Yeah, there's a lot of them just had curtains.
I was like, damn, there's some titties back
Yeah,
there. Like,
for instance, local video rental stores were
Man, there's some titties back there. Woo.
always rugged. There was also a 50% chance you'd run into a dog or a cat as you walked in through the front door.
Yeah, of course, the
Our owner
record
had
store.
a yellow lab and liked to smoke cigarettes at the counter.
nice.
The owner, not the dog. The downside of a local video store was the lack of new releases.
Yep. Look how many are there. The Fifth Element, Face Off.
Yeah, empty boxes. Yep.
Yep. That's why Blockbuster was took over. They had more of a selection. They had more of a I think they would go with the actual studios, and the studios would give them 50 copies or something like that. The independent guys didn't have the money to be able to, buy 50 rentals or whatever it is. You know what I
They
mean?
didn't have the startup costs for it. They reached out to whoever the distributor was and said, I need a couple copies of this and that. How much is it going to cost? And they'd have to pay. I don't know if they got a special deal, but remember when I said movies were like $90 a piece? They probably had to pay like 60.
Yeah, they had to pay up front, and then the cost of the
You rent 'em
rentals and
enough.
all that. You'd make it back, which is problematic because if people are not renting, that's a problem.
Or not returning.
Or not returning, that's also a problem.
They usually only carried 1 or 2 copies of new movies at best, so you better get to the rental store early. And if they didn't have the movie you were looking for, this would send you wandering the other aisles for movies you rarely watched. Mostly 70s and 80s.
What's happening, Dave?
What's up, Dave?
How you doing, fellas?
Doing
Chilling.
good.
Talking about video stores.
Was your experience back in the day, Dave, similar to mine, like mom and pop shops and the secret adult section and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, now I used to live like in Iceland and Alaska and all that stuff as a kid, so I didn't really get into the video stores till like 16 years old, but that was like 84, so it was still very mom and pop. But I just remember like my mom would go to the video store to get a membership, and they'd say, "Well, that's $300 for the membership." Because they wanted to make sure that they got their money back if you stole a bunch of their fucking VHS tapes. Because in the 80s, the VHS tapes were like 60 to 80 bucks. These were not cheap endeavors for these store owners.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
They did not get, bulk discount like Blockbuster, which was able to drive the price down to whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. But when Blockbuster opened, guys, it was game changing. You could go there, get your video games, you could get your movies, and if they
Popcorn,
didn't have one of the 50 copies available, you know what? The movie I also wanted to see, they probably had a copy of too.
Yeah.
And I could get the Mike and Ike's or the whatever plus my popcorn and make a night of it.
Oh, sorry, Scorpio. There wasn't my little mom and pop shop. It was like a bank deposit box. You open it up, drop, and
No, he's talking about the deposit for like a membership. Oh
no,
man,
that happened. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100, 200, 300 bucks, and I'm like, okay. My mom would be like, no. I'm like, yeah, of course.
You know who to blame for all that? Me. I never returned shit.
And me and Julio were talking about always trying to look what was in the forbidden area. Mm-hmm. We're always trying to like, what's back here?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a dad, and I could find those in my house. He didn't know
the home video rental place.
Yeah. Dave, this movie collection on the screen looks like the Saturday Night Movie Night on your channel.
Yeah, we just got done watching Farscape tonight, too.
Oh, you did? I saw Morons from Outer Space last night. I did catch some of that.
So goddamn funny. It was Brits. The aliens were Brits, okay? They land in Britain, man. It was so wild. And the reason it was wild is this movie goes on, and you're laughing through the whole thing. And it ends, Julio, where a spaceship lands where 3 of the 4 aliens are. And he gets out and he goes, da-da-da-da-da, I'm looking for Julio Scissors. And he goes, I'm Julio Scissors. He goes, yeah, I'm from such and such rental spaceship.
Really?
And you're late on your car. You need to come with me. And that's how it ends. Like the car.
It ties into this show, like late with the rental. Yeah. Blockbuster should have had a security force. They go to your house, go like knock, 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 knock.
But Scorpio, this was 84. Credit cards were not even a big deal in 84. It was checks and cash. Like if you had a credit card, it was like a big deal.
Yeah, you're like, ooh, look at the rich guy over there with the credit card.
I honestly don't remember my parents ever having credit cards when I grew up. Never.
My parents got in trouble with using credit cards.
Yeah, but that's fine because they made it too easy at some point. But it's like student loans, Derek. It's too easy to get student loans now because they're government funded. Used to you have to go to the bank and the bank approved. Yeah, you know what? I don't like that degree about fucking South African basket weaving. Fuck you. I'm not giving you money for that. Oh, you want to be an engineer? Yeah, we'll throw you some cash. And if you have the grades to match. So yeah, this credit cards just like in 84. I mean, that's when they were still doing the whole fucking slide thing. You know, when you put it in
they call them knuckle scrapers is what we used to call them.
Knuckle scrapers?
Do you know what we're talking about, Derek? Do you know those things? You put the card down and you have to slide the thing to get the impression of the numbers. Because it would, when you did it over and over again, because I used to work in retail, your knuckles would start to scrape against the plate.
Look what Doc says. My parents got a Sears card in the mid-'70s because they were building a house. The statement came on a punched card. Yeah, like that's how crazy it was, man. Credit cards were like a specialty.
When I opened my first bank account,
he goes, I don't remember renting movies. They just recorded stuff. It was too expensive for a lot of people to get a membership. Yeah, Blockbuster changed that, dude. Like they did change that because I think Blockbuster was like $10 a month or so, initially. And then it went down to like 99 cents a month because they were just fucking movies were going out the door like crazy.
Yeah.
And then Netflix killed them.
If I remember correctly, Blockbuster had an opportunity to invest in Netflix in past, right?
Netflix offered to sell their business to Blockbuster for like $2 million because they were dying. They were dead on the vine, dude.
Because they were doing they would send you the DVD in the mail, right?
Yeah, I did it. It was
with the return envelope too.
It was cool. We did it. Like I was
fucking awesome.
It was cool. And then, but they were still losing their ass because, dude, they had like I actually interviewed for a job at Netflix at one of their distribution warehouses because that's where it all came down to it being expensive for them. Is all of these stations had to be close to populated areas, so it was like a UPS of movies, and you had to staff all these places to fucking send out $1.99 movie rentals, dude. There is no money in that. So they were losing their ass, and they offered themselves to Blockbuster, and Blockbuster just laughed at them. And then what did Blockbuster do? They started a mail order thing. Remember?
They tried.
They tried.
Failed.
They also tried, Derek. They tried to do an online streaming because when Netflix started, Blockbuster's like, well, we should do that too, and it just by that time it was over.
It's too late. Yeah,
it was
I mean, the market was already cornered, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why Disney Plus is a failure too, right? Like, who the fuck cares? You only care about one thing if you got Disney Plus, or two things: Pixar movies and Star Wars. That's all you give a fuck about.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Marvel shit. Some people care about the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you can watch the R-rated stuff on Disney Plus. You just have to sign in as an adult. Like there's a place in Disney Plus where you can say, I want to see the mature rated stuff. It automatically defaults to not mature rated, but if it's rated PG-13 or R and Disney owns it, it's still available on Disney Plus.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
It's a life hack.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I was wondering, like, where the fuck are all these movies? And I looked up, they go, oh, you got to log in a different way. Okay.
I didn't know that.
80s B movies like Super Fuzz or Beastmaster. And honestly, if it wasn't for those old local video rental places, I would have missed out on a lot of terrible but great movies. Because once the
was Dave next to this guy?
Julio got me into this shit more than anybody.
The Howling. There's Scream. The first Scream is good, but the other ones are Poltergeist 2.
I love The Howling. Dawn of the Dead. That's great.
I like it's the Thing, but it's like an old school
It's
thing.
the original thing.
Yeah, like the 50s thing.
Frankenstein.
Yep. Dawn of the Dead is great. Look at that. Look at that box. That's a double cassette box for Dawn of the Dead.
Nosferatu. I've never seen that. I heard it's good.
Actually, I know a musician who redid the score for it and released it on YouTube, and my daughter and I watched it. It was great. Great.
Redbox. Yeah. They're no longer. They shit the bed.
Why, Derek? Do you know what? Like, I'm like, all right.
I see machines sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah, far and few. Not like they used to be, dude. Like they were in front of fucking post offices. It was crazy. Like they were putting anywhere that would let them.
Well, they weren't getting current movies. So like if a movie would come out, they didn't get it for like a year, and then by that time everybody's seen it, so they're not going to fucking Redbox.
Well, and you can blame Hollywood too for making movies, putting in the theater for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks later it's at the fucking streaming service. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
You don't feel any anticipation for any of this shit anymore.
Exactly what you said, Derek. Yep. Earlier.
I remember I've talked about this before on my show. Saturday night HBO, 8 o'clock Central or 8 o'clock Eastern was the release of the week. Every Saturday night they had a brand new release that was for that week. And it's not anymore. They don't do nothing's exciting. It's just fucking, it's product, dude. It's all product.
Yeah, they stopped paying people. There's kind of a documentary talking about Redbox. And all these people are pissed because they stopped paying people, and they were paying for people's gas, and they stopped paying for that because they would send you, like, if you worked for Redbox, and how they stocked it up is they would send you the product, and then Julio would have to go to Redbox, open up the thing, and fill it.
He's
and
a
then
vending
close
machine guy. He's a vending machine guy.
Basically a vending machine guy. But then they stopped paying people, and then they stopped paying for their gas, and it's like, you're not, like, I'm using my car driving 1,000 miles a day, and you're not paying me anything.
Well, they were running out of money. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a short-lived thing, Redbox. For
It was
3 years, maybe. That was it.
That's because, again, everybody's got to stream. Everybody's got to stream. And this is streaming's worked though for one thing. ABC, NBC, CBS, I couldn't tell you a fucking show on those networks if it wasn't for me watching NFL football and knowing there's a Chicago night on fucking
You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
No idea.
Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago CSI. What the fuck are we doing here, dude? God, there's no creativity at all left. It sucks. That's why you got to watch
fancy chain video stores like Blockbuster and the like came around. Those kind of movies disappeared from the shelves, replaced with more and more rows of newer movies. And if you were into horror, local video rental stores were horror central. I wasn't even into horror.
See, that's why I liked it, is because you could see movies from indie guys that never got played from Blockbuster. So you could go to the indie the little a rental store and pick up a cool movie that you'd never heard of before. You know what I mean?
Look at that, Faces of Death. You ever see that, Derek? I know you have, Dave.
No, I heard about it. And I was too scared to watch it.
It's like a rite of passage, dude. It's
people dying basically in front of camera.
Legit like a snuff film, right, Dave?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's actually super disturbing, dude. And I think I saw it when I was like 13 or 14 years old. That shit gave me because it's, first of all, it's such shitty quality, Julio. You can't even see half the shit that's going on. It's so grainy.
It's true.
But that's just the era. But I won't watch it again. Like that shit's not good.
You guys watched some of these on your stream, right? Hellraiser 3.
Yeah, we watched Hellraiser.
You and Partika watched Hellraiser, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They got Chopping Mall on this shelf. That's my favorite.
Shopping Mall
or Christmas Evil.
That's the best movie that we've ever done on your channel. Christmas Evil was so good.
Yeah.
Got to do it again this Christmas.
Oh, we are.
Sweet.
Absolutely. Now, see, Christmas is a season, Julio. So we'll have a season of Christmas movies, not fucking Halloween.
Halloween, like a month before Halloween. Come on.
No.
I had an argument with my youngest daughter, whose Halloween is her favorite thing, and I argued with her about that tonight or today.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to start decorating a month beforehand. She's like, "Yeah, it's my favorite holiday. It's Halloween season." I'm like, "Oh,
It's not a holiday.
I've gone wrong.
Yeah, it's not
what
a
did your
holiday.
mother teach you?"
When like, who told you this is a fucking holiday? That's what I want to know.
Well, I
Like-
give her a pass because she's actually kind of a goth chick. So I'm like, all right, that's kind of your.
No, I get
Your
it,
bit.
dude. But don't call it a holiday. Yeah, but that morons from outer space, 80s, and then I was on fire when I started last night, but it took us almost 2.5 hours to go from YouTube to Rumble.
I did notice. I'm like, poor Partika. He's like just waiting for his video to be showcased, and he's sitting there like, can we stop talking about NASCAR for about a minute so I can get through this video?
I was in your chat, and you're like, "Come along," and I'm like half asleep. Like,
Nah, yeah, I was
it's
done,
bedtime.
All right, Derek, here's some trivia for you. What does CHUD stand for?
Oh, I have no idea.
Dave?
Oh, fuck. I don't remember.
Cannibalistic Human Underground Dwellers.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
I bet you that's a peach of a movie to watch.
I never saw it. I just wondered I'm like, what the fuck does this stand for? And the dude at the mom and pop shop knew. I'm like,
Silent
thanks,
Night,
bro.
Deadly Night. That's a fucking Christmas horror movie. What's that one in pink?
Brain damage.
Don't know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second
But I
movie we were
remember
going to
that.
watch. The second movie we were going to watch last night was Eric the Viking.
Oh, that's Eric Idle. That's like a Monty Python-y movie.
It's the same style, yeah. But we'll do it next time. And then Dan Blackburn said, "Well, if you're going to do that, you gotta pair that up with that Sinbad movie I told you about." I'm like, okay. I don't know what Sinbad movie you told me about, but I'll ask.
Well, before we get to the video, real quick, the minute I saw you going live at 10:30 at night, I'm like, Dave's not doing 2 movies. I just knew it. That's not happening.
I didn't go to bed till 3.
That's earlier than I thought you would.
Well, we were going to go till 6, but Mark and Mike were like,
I think so, Doc.
They're like, I gotta go. Mark and Mike were like, I gotta go. I'm like, okay, because it was 4 for Mark. Mark hung out a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Like Mark was into NASCAR. I was like, holy shit. Mark knew
I was
all
shocked at that too. You were talking about NASCAR. I'm like, why is Dave talking about NASCAR when Partika? And then Mark jumped in. I'm like, God damn, what a bunch of rednecks these fuckers are on the street.
It came up because Dale Earnhardt Jr. Is one of the guys that says fuck Netflix in their transgender stuff in the kid shows.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So he's like, and I'm like, oh, okay. And the chat was like, Yeah. And then that's the whole NASCAR thing came up with Dale dying. And I thought it was earlier than 2001, but it was the same year of 9/11.
Yeah.
It's crazy, Derek. You get older and you look back and you're like, really? That was
And
that year?
It was
like
so
gets
weird.
scrunched.
Because the crash didn't look like it was
No.
Deadly at all.
deadly at all.
And it wasn't if he would have been wearing his fucking strap or even his helmet.
What do they call that? The Apex or something?
Hans.
Or Hans, yeah.
But Hans were not required then. They were a new device.
Yeah.
And, Dale had been racing already for 25, 30 years. He's like, fuck. He's like any old guy shouting at clouds. Oh, fuck you. I'll do what I want in my car.
See, he basically broke his neck, right?
Oh, he snapped it and it killed him instantly. Yeah. Yeah.
Rough.
Horror section, clear as day. Those horror tapes were everywhere. Most faced outward so you could get the full effect of the covers. I'd gone home on a Saturday night with my share of horror goodies.
You know how disgusting those cases were, dude? You know how gross they were?
But it was cool because you get this when you're at the video store. It's like, oh, this is cool. Let me check this
album art.
out.
Yeah, the
Right,
album
Dave.
art.
Exactly what I was thinking, Dave. Like, it's like going to a record store. Like, this cover fucking kicks ass. I'll bet this music kicks ass,
Well,
too.
that image of the store I put in the chat before I came on, it looked just like a fucking comic book store.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's a comic book store, right?
Or like I mentioned earlier,
store.
like
Yeah.
a bourbon store. Like, Dave, you go to bourbon places and they know their shit about bourbon like these mom and pop movie places knew about movies.
Yep.
Experts.
Because they watched them all, dude.
Yeah. What else are you going to do at the mom and
They
pop
had
shop?
nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Like Doll Man, or Puppet Master, Chud, The Stuff, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I mean, sure, I knew Blockbuster would have 400 copies of Independence Day, but do they have Doll Man or Demonic Toys? Probably not. And definitely not Doll Man vs. Demonic Toys. Sometimes me and my
That
friend
blonde
would
looked
go just to check out the horror covers. I mean, look at these. They're both
Yeah, chopping
frightening
mall
and
Mark or Mike.
one staple of any
Oh,
local.
shit.
The one creature coming out of the toilet, that was like everywhere you saw that freaking cover.
He just showed Chopping Mall.
I caught that. Yep. I love that movie.
Rental
Great.
video store horror section
Those are
was the
Faces of Death.
so terrible Faces of Death. Me and some friends would always dare one another to rent it.
Right on.
Eventually, we got up the courage.
I was too scared. I was like, no, I'm not watching somebody die. I'm sorry.
I was at my buddy. He had 1, 2, and 3, brother. He had the trilogy. And his mother was a nurse, so I was hopped up on goofballs, high and drunk. And so was he, and he's like, well, let's check this out. And we stayed up all night watching 1, 2, and 3.
At that point, you're just laughing, though, because you're high and drunk.
Well, I had to laugh. The guy on the movie is on LSD, and they need to shoot him like 57 times to kill him. The guy eating monkey brains. I was like,
That guy.
yeah, see, Derek, I mean,
I was scared.
Derek, you're a good boy. You were right, actually.
to do it. The guy working the counter didn't even care that we were clearly underage. And those memories only exist because of the local rental stores. No way Blockbuster was going to carry
This guy
Faces of
sounds like he's
Death.
25 years
But that's
old.
what made those
It sounds
places
like it.
memorable. The crapshoot of getting there
I
in
respect
time
that
to
he's,
get a new
researched the
release,
game,
the
though.
excitement of going
Yeah.
home with some weird B horror and finding out it was actually a good time. Getting greeted by an old dog or cat at the door. The creepy, distant adult film section hidden behind saloon doors or a curtain. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention the adult section?
We always try to little peek, little taste.
Like there was something back there besides fucking videos. Like
Yeah.
there's got to be something else besides boxes, right?
Well, see, this one you had to actually open the door, so you couldn't just try to sneak back there if there was just a curtain.
I got so many peaks, I can identify the porn star by their boobs. I'm like, that's Kate Parker over there. I don't see her face, but I know those
It's like a
titties.
calling card.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Another staple of any local video rental store was the seedy adult section. Now, I never personally ever got past the curtain or corral doors or beaded curtain thing.
You didn't
I was
work hard
tempted a
enough,
few
son.
times to peek in, more of a dare than anything. Remember, this is pre-internet times. This was as taboo as it got for a young kid. Though to be truthful, it always left a weird, creepy vibe for me. Ultimately, all these things are what made old school local video rental stores so special. By the time
Yeah, because it was like you're looking at it because you're a perv, is a little young man.
Yep.
But you're also like, is there a creepy dude back there that's way too old to be watching pornos? I don't want to go back there.
There was always an old creepy dude back there that would be there for like an hour. I'm like, you should have picked something out by now. Are you? And really, an hour?
Like,
Aren't
what
you
is
done?
happening right now?
You going for a second run? Okay.
Blockbuster rolled around,
Yeah,
renting
you get
movies
through about
became
30 seconds of the video and you're done watching it anyway, dude. What are you doing? Just pick
Right.
Just pick one.
boring. You went in, you got your movie you wanted, and you left. All the excitement was gone. The stress of
That's
not knowing if they
retarded,
had
dude.
the
That's
movie you
not true.
wanted.
It's not true at all.
The excitement
That's
of
not
getting
true.
something you assumed wouldn't be there. All of
Shout out to Ghostbusters.
it sort of spiced up your life, even for a brief moment. Now, well, now I just decide what I want to watch. I hit a button and I watch it.
Yeah, honestly, it's
Careful
kind
what
of
you
fucking
wish
great.
for, I guess.
Yeah, it's still charming to me to go to the video store.
It is charming, but I think they overly romanticize what it like I know we're all like I fall into nostalgia bait all the time. I look at these videos and I'm like, remember the good old days? But
Yeah.
then I take a minute to think about it and go, wait a minute, I can watch any of these movies like right now if I want.
Like, dude, like every movie he showed, it's streaming somewhere.
Yeah, all of it, right?
Basically, yeah.
I
I
can
need
watch
to-
all these movies, and I don't have to drive. Okay, so here's the thing: we all get Netflix or streaming service. Like, we can't make up our mind, right? We're just scrolling for an hour on what we want to fucking watch, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then by the time you watch it, you're like, "Fuck, I don't even know what I'm just going to turn on something else." But it's the same thing at the movie store. We would actually have to drive 15, 20 minutes to get to the video store, walk around for an hour, and still not pick out a movie or pick out a movie we weren't satisfied with just to say we got something. But now I can do it from my couch. So
It was
I don't
still
know.
fun, Dave. It was still fun.
It was fun. Right.
You're right. It
It
was
was
simpler
fun.
times and it was better times, but you're right. Like even with like I have Steam. I have a
You know what it
million
wasn't
games I'll
fun
never
for, though?
play.
It wasn't for our parents who had to drive us there because our parents like, hurry the fuck up.
I had to walk. What are you driving? I had to walk.
Well, I'm saying if you were under 16, you couldn't go get a movie yourself.
Not if your buddy worked at Blockbuster, you didn't.
Well, I'm just saying, you know what I mean. Most people had to go with their parents because they had the membership.
So Derek, what was when you walked into the video store, Derek, what was your go-to pattern? Like would you go to a certain section first or look for a certain type of this
Comedies, dramas,
first? Okay.
sports movies. Like every time or whatever the new movie was that I saw like a commercial for or something.
Yeah.
Trailer.
Scorpio says, dude, I've fallen asleep just looking for a movie to fall asleep to. It's true, man. Like,
Okay, this video is renting videos at Blockbuster store in 1989.
That's
Bringing it back.
About my time. Yep. Would have been 21.
So this is like a live feed, basically. Oh, the flags, it's very patriotic.
Yep. Half these movies would be in Spanish nowadays. Yeah, and they always had a TV or a screen playing a movie that
Yeah.
they were hoping you go, oh, that looks good. You
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
what's this?
when I went to Blockbuster, the first section I went to, Julio, was a new release section. I didn't know what was always released, so I'd want to go there to see what was out. And if they had a copy, I'd grab it.
Love the hairstyles, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
went straight to the video game section
Oh, yeah.
to try
Yeah.
to find out the newest NHL game for Sega Saturn or something like Castlevania. Or
Every
some
time I
shit
tried
like
to get one, they was always scratched all hell, and I had to freaking bug my parents to bring me back to the video store because it's all scratched up.
Well, I feel like I should apologize for that, Derek. But even though we didn't live in the same area, it was...
No porn at Blockbuster.
Yeah, you had to go to the CD video stores.
But Blockbuster did have a CD section. They have like a softcore section. You can get some,
Right.
like kind of the movies, Dave, that
Emmanuel
Derek,
and shit like that.
yeah, or some of the old like Chopping Mall where you get some.
See, that right there,
nudity.
what she was doing. She saw a cover that looked interesting, and she wanted to go check it out. That's what I miss about it. And it's probably a movie that she never heard of before. She's like, this seems interesting.
Yeah, the cover looks cool.
Or she noticed the actor, like, oh, I know who that is.
Same thing. He's reading the back to see what's this?
But that's what I do when I'm looking on my streaming service. I read the description.
That's true, Dave. There were too many choices even back then.
Yeah, there were.
You're right.
I mean, same thing. I would walk around that fucking store forever sometimes, and then, like you said, Julio, the first hour's in the video game section, hoping that there's something there you could pick up.
Oh hell yeah! I would go in knowing what I want. Tecmo Bowl.
Right.
I hope they got that.
I
shit.
want Blades of Steel. Tecmo Bowl.
Blades of Steel. That game was. They're like, well, everybody wants fighting in hockey games. Let's just make that the bit. Like, look at those hairdos.
Yeah.
This makes me want to cry. Oh, I remember. But the point being, like, it would cost you, like we were saying earlier, like $80 to buy a movie, which means your family, or my family anyway, could afford one movie like a year.
Right.
And you watch that shit a million times. That was your only option. Now you're walking into this place and you're like, what the fuck? It's overwhelming.
Yeah, I remember when VHS recorders were $500-600. Like only rich people had that shit.
Oh, the first VHS and beta player my dad bought was $1,200 each. That was like 1983, 84.
Lord.
Yeah, it was insane.
Maybe 82 or 82 or 83. He bought one of each, and we liked the beta the best. It had the best picture, but the VHS one because it had more length on the tape.
Didn't VHS okay, so Sony was Betamax, right?
Right.
And RCA was VHS, I think.
RCA.
And I think
Panasonic, all of
RCA
them, yeah.
allowed other companies to make VHS compatible machines, whereas Sony did not, and that killed Sony. Or
Yeah, 'cause there was a
It didn't. The tape length killed it too, dude. Like you could get like 6 hours at least on a VHS tape. You might get 4 on a beta.
yeah.
So,
And then there was just I remember there was just the price dropped dramatically. What, the late 80s, I would think?
yeah, they
Because we couldn't afford it, and then all of a sudden we got one, and it was like $100 or something, $150.
When I was a kid, when I was 5, 6, or 7, I didn't have a TV in my room, and it was out of the question. By the time I was 14, I had a TV in my room because they were nothing at that point. Like they just figure out the electronics, they make them cheaper, and you can buy a fucking DVD player for what, $30 now?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
wild.
They were $400 or $500 when they first came out, dude.
Yep.
CD players were expensive when they came out.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
I think what killed the whole videotape market or the Blockbuster market is when when they came out with the double deck VHSs where you can copy the tape.
Oh yeah.
And then the distributors try to put some sort of like copy protection so you couldn't copy it, but people always figured out after a while they're like,
There's always a hack.
yeah, they're like, we lose fucking.
When me and Carrie got married, we found a VHS thing that would record, and it knew to not record the commercials.
Yep.
For your programming. Mm-hmm. And so it was like a TiVo in your fucking VHS player.
It was like magic. Like, how the fuck did it know not to? I don't know. I don't need to know. It just works.
I think the magic is all these networks are on the exact same fucking schedule.
Oh, okay.
If there's a commercial on NBC at 7:18, there's a commercial on CBS and ABC as well. If it's a regular scheduled program, not a sporting event, ain't no sense in changing the channel.
No.
They're on a commercial too. They've only got so much time to get these commercials in.
Yeah, I was like, what is this wizardry that they can detect these commercials? And I
Right.
don't care because I'm happy they can.
Right. I don't think it worked during sporting events.
Well, they couldn't predict when the breaks were, I would
Right.
imagine, right?
Right.
Okay.
I got a CD player in 88 and 89. It was $250. I saved forever. Oh, the multi-changer blew my mind. The 6 CD multi-changer.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
My girlfriend, my fiance at the time, who became my wife, got me for my birthday. One of them got the turntable at the top, 6 CD changer in the middle, and the double cassette deck. You know, the
Yeah.
stack stereos.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her
In the
still for
particle
that.
board in the particle board case.
Yep.
But I remember when I got this 6 CD changer in my car, dude. I could
Oh.
put CDs in my fucking car stereo CD player. Holy shit.
And you put 6 sweet ass CDs in there and just hit fucking random.
Yeah. You just hit play and you never change them because those are the ones you want to listen to all the time anyway.
I had one of those 6 CD things, but it was square. I had my room, and when I moved out, I moved into a place that we partied a little bit, and I put all of my favorite CDs in this thing, and then just song after song. I had like freaking. I was using it as like a turntable, and a bunch of people dancing in my room and shit.
It's like it's like what people make playlists on Spotify now. That's what you did with the 6 CD changer.
Yeah. Okay, so this video is okay. So Quentin Tarantino back in the day started working at a video store, and people like would go to him specifically, like, Quentin, like, what is your favorite movie? Like, what do you recommend?
Mm-hmm.
So this is sort of what he got his education on, the history of movies and what movie stuff that he liked and what he didn't like. So this is sort of a video about Quentin Tarantino.
I was living in the South Bay, and this fellow named Lance Lawson had just opened up this video store called Video Archives. And it really was a movie lover's heaven. It was really terrific. I was a customer there, and I really liked it. And eventually he asked me if I wanted a job. And I was like, yeah, I'd love a job here. This would be a dream. And it was. It was, until I became a director, it was the best job I'd ever had. And I ended up working there for like 5 years.
Wow.
Well, this is where the world-famous Video Archives was.
No, not Video Archives.
And this...
Video Archives was a very relaxed atmosphere. They had popcorn available, so I'm a popcorn fan. I would eat popcorn and chat with Quentin. I always got a kick out of talking to Quentin because he was so opinionated about everything under the sun.
This is one of the few places that Quentin could come as a regular guy and get a job and become like a star, because he was like the star of the store. Since if you needed
the star
to,
of the store too.
well, yeah, but he didn't know as much as you did. So like,
Lance knows a lot. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. I know more about it. I know more about Italian exploitation films and TNA movies. Jess Franco than Lance.
A customer would come into the store and it could ask me maybe an obscure film, and I might be able to tell the year it was directed, who directed it, and maybe who the leads were. And Quentin would go on to tell you who the supporting cast was, who the DP was, who wrote the screenplay, and probably do a couple of scenes from the film with the dialogue verbatim. You know, that's the difference between Quentin and I.
But you see, the funnest part. One thing about like film geeks is they have an intense love for film.
He loves film.
Incredible love
Oh,
for
yeah.
film, incredible passion. They devote a lot of time, they devote a lot of money, and they devote a lot of their life to the following of film. But they don't really have that much to show for all this devotion, other than a movie poster collection or a still collection. All right. The one thing that they do have to definitely show for it is they have their opinion. All right. They have a highly developed opinion.
Wow.
But what you find out fairly quickly in Hollywood is this is a community where hardly anybody trusts their own opinion. People want people to tell them what is good, what to like, what not to like. Now, here I come. All right? I'm a film geek. My opinion is everything. All right? You can all disagree with me. I don't care. All right? I know I'm right as far as I'm concerned. All right? And I'll argue anybody down. That whole Video Archives time even though it's not directly in the movie, it is in the movie. That time is captured perfectly in True Romance. You know, it almost takes it to, you know, like mythology or something. You know, I mean, not for Joe Schmo on the street, but definitely for the people who worked at Video Archives. They can't watch the movie without, oh wow, you know, and just like it takes us all back. Because the things that Clarence says, they're the things that I and the rest of us said. You know, the conversations that he has are the conversations that we had. You know, our names are all throughout the script. You know, Lance is the guy I work for. He's in the movie.
Au Vidéoclub Video Archive.
Wow.
Il passera 5 ans dans cette petite boutique qui deviendra mythique pour les cinéphiles angelinos. 5 ans à bouffer des films et à ne parler que de ça à longueur de journée avec ses collègues.
So he never forgot his voice, huh?
Yeah.
You know, make that film buffery thrive, and also it didn't really have to work for a living, all right? I mean, I did. I mean, we were working our butts off, all right, and working, like, you know, we're making minimum wage, all right? So, you know, we almost, in order to survive, or you had to work, like, you know, double shifts, like 3 every week, you know, from opening to close, just to make enough money to live. But we were having a great time, you know? And, you know, some people think, oh, so that's where you learned your knowledge about movies. You know, I was already a movie expert. That's how I got hired at Video Archives, was because I was a movie expert. You know, but I knew my shit. You know, I had a whole group of friends. And, you know, I didn't go to, you know, not only did I not go to college, I didn't go to high school, all right? You know, I quit school in junior high. I never made it to high school.
My brother.
Now, the thing about it is funny is...
What was that?
No, I was saying my brother, because I dropped out in my sophomore year, actually. I love Tarantino, and here's why I love him as a person. He's always passionate about what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And what he's talking about is all he's thinking of. He's direct, hands all over the place, like me, like a wop. And he's always like hype about whatever he's talking about. He loves
film, too. I was saying after you were gone.
Yeah, he seems authentic. Right, Dave.
Yeah, my number 1 guy is David Fincher. Number 2 is Tarantino.
Sweet.
Yeah.
For all the knowledge most people go, you know, when you go to college, you get.
Because Tarantino, because he's a film nerd, because he worked at a video store, he has appreciation with the people that did it before he did it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just doing his interpretation of things that he likes. And he'll tell you that he's doing interpretations of things he likes. And the violence and the blood is sort of like his nod to some of the old horror movies and some of the old cop and robber movies that he used to watch when he was younger.
He wants to add his vision to the legacy that got him where he is.
Yes.
He goes, every time I want to be like that, and then want to add my little twist to it, like add to the, you know, the history of film.
That's why he gets offended when people make dumbass comments, and or they'll be like, well, some of your characters use the N-word 14 times in this movie, like Django. And he's like, then obviously you don't watch any of my movies, and you've never watched anything that I've ever said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to do something just because. There's a reason why that those things are done the way that they're done.
Plus, nowadays with movies, you can tell why when a director or producer or writer is dodging certain words or certain topics.
Yeah.
And they lose their authenticity immediately. You're like, oh, well, you're kowtowing to the producers and the money.
Yep.
He does not kowtow to anybody, which is why.
Did you know that Fincher's working on a movie, a sequel to Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I've heard that, but Tarantino shot so much. I don't know if it's more a matter of just using Tarantino's extra footage.
But it's for Netflix, and it's called The Adventures of Cliff Booth.
Interesting.
It's going to be shit.
Probably. I mean, I love me some David Fincher, but probably.
Maybe not.
I mean, how can you take one director's vision and then make it your own vision and make it good? It's going to be difficult.
As a sequel. Yeah.
Just make your own thing.
Yeah.
The most knowledgeable thing you get is the college experience, basically getting away from your parents, going somewhere that's away from where you are, and you know, with a whole group of other peers that are away from where they are, and you make your connections and cliques and friends and all that kind of stuff. Now, you can skip college, but you probably won't skip the college experience. If you don't go to college, you'll find it somewhere else. And in that, it became Video Archives. It became a group of friends, and we all did all these things together. And it was like we were like in college together. And we're just working our way, through this school. And it was...
That's a young Chris Penn right there.
That's
Sean Penn's brother.
Is that the musician?
No, he was in Reservoir Dogs.
Is he actor?
I'm thinking of Michael Penn.
Right there.
Never mind. Wrong guy. I got you.
Is he dead, Chris Penn?
Yeah, he died a while ago. Yeah.
We're like in college together. And we're just working our way,
right?
through the school.
I think so, but probably drugs. I think drugs too.
Yeah.
And it was, it was a great time. We were always watching movies and expanding on them, and the store was completely like it was like a clubhouse. It was like we owned it basically. We didn't own it. We weren't making any money there, but we're in our 20s. How much money do you need? All right. But
right.
we were polite with the customers, but it was our store, not theirs. All right, and then we had complete access to the place, so we would like as soon as we'd close and everything, we'd lock the doors and have film festivals and watch movies and get drunk, get high, whatever we were doing, and I'd get on like directorial retrospectives. We're like, okay, every night when we close up, we were going to show, watch a new Jonathan Demme movie, and I'd talk about it and set the stage for it and everything. And it was a lot of fun. It would be the kind of thing where it's like if we were out partying and everything, and we had to be in at work at 9 and everything. Not everyone else did this, but I would do it. All right, I wouldn't go home. I would just go to the store, all right? So I would be there in the morning when I had to wake up,
Oh.
So literally what I would do is hygiene, especially in my 20s, wasn't really my strong point, all right? And so I would go to a Video Archives, like drunk on my ass, all right? And then like go into the porno section and then just fall asleep because it was like away from everything else. There's like this blue light going on. So I just like fall asleep in the porno section on the floor. Then I'd wake up in the morning and then I'd be there at work, all right? So just open up the door and here we go.
Aujourd'hui, Video Archive n'existe plus. Le quartier a été rénové et les patrons ont dû revendre les lieux. Mais en 1993, c'est ici que Tarantino fêtait la sortie vidéo de Reservoir Dogs. Dans le document d'époque qui suit, il nous fait visiter ce soir-là le magasin en nous proposant une petite sélection de films.
Hi, I'm Quentin Tarantino, and this is Video Archives. This is the store that I used to work at for 5 years before I made Reservoir Dogs. And now I'm back here, so the movie's just opened on video in the USA, and I came back here for Video Archives to do a big hoop-to-do, because the whole thing has kind of become full circle now. So let's walk inside my old stomping grounds. Okay, now, you want to see 3 movies that if I were going to be like trapped on a desert island and I could go to Video Archives before I was going to get trapped on a desert island, what 3 movies I would take with me? Okay, so follow me here to the drama section, all right? One of the movies would be Brian De Palma's Blowout. I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. It's Brian De Palma's finest film. All right, which means it's one of the finest movies ever made because, as we all know, Brian De Palma is the greatest director of his generation.
I don't think I've ever heard of it or seen it.
Well, Tarantino's getting the deep cuts. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but that's probably another one that is only on VHS because it never made it over to fucking DVD.
John Travolta, by the way, gets one of the best performances of all time in this movie.
Oh.
Okay, so now, from the drama section, we move right along to the Western section. And in the Western section, we find tripling along Howard Hawks' Rio Bravo. Sorry, John Wayne, Dean Martin, Ricky Nelson. All right, also Angie Dickinson, who's not on the box. But this is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the greatest movies ever made, and this would definitely go along with me. All right, Ricky Nelson is so cool in this movie, and Dean Martin gives one of the greatest performances ever made too. Performances are a big thing in mine. John Travolta and Dean Martin. Okay, now from there we're gonna go to the Laserdisc section.
Oh no!
Passing Great Britain, passing the classics, passing this nice little Reservoir Dogs setup here, which is very nice here. This is the best of the best would be the 3rd movie that I took. No, I wouldn't take best of the best with me, okay. Come this way. Now we are in the Laserdisc section. And in the Laserdisc section, we find the Criterion version of Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver. Starring, let's see what's inside here. Starring Robert De Niro, Jodie Foster, Martin Scorsese in a little bit, Sybil Shepherd, but no Harvey Keitel, which is very odd because he's one of the finest performances in this movie, as we all know, sport. Anyway, Taxi Driver would be one of the films I brought with me. So, to wrap that up for you in the bathroom, Taxi Driver by Martin Scorsese, Howard Hawks' Rio Bravo, and Brian De Palma's Blowout. In what section? I think I put it in the classic section. In the auteur section is where Reservoir Dogs. No. Drama. It would go in drama. But if it got accidentally placed in comedy, okay. It should go in the may we suggest section. Is exactly where Reservoir Dogs should go. Nah, just this one.
He is kind of a little bit of a nerdy, geeky guy.
Oh, he's a nerd yes.
So somebody get him more cocaine immediately. He's super passionate about what he's talking about. I dig
Yes,
that.
he is. Okay, this one is The Last Video Store, a documentary of the world's oldest VHS and DVD rental store.
Oh, all right. Maximize.
After this, I got to check out, guys.
What's that?
In the 80s
After
and
this, I got to
90s,
check out.
it was just making money hand over fist. Like video rental was like a hugely profitable industry to be in. And weirdly, Flicks, because it's got this very strange, idiosyncratic collection of trash to extreme highbrow movies, we just had this niche that we managed to survive in. It started in 1982 in an area of Bristol called Redland, and it became quite successful there, enough that they managed to move the premises a couple of years later to its home next to Clifton Wine Bar on Queen's Road in Clifton, which is a slightly smarter neighbourhood. It was still pretty, like, not grotty, but it was a bit more rough around the edges than it is now. Clifton's super smart now.
It just makes me sad that we chose convenience over experience, or maybe learning something new as far as a movie you've never heard of before,
or patience.
We chose convenience over it.
That's
something that makes me sad.
Can you drive a stick shift?
I'm sorry?
Can you drive a stick shift?
No.
Well, all cars used to have stick shifts.
I've been fucked.
I'm just saying, like, the automatic transmission made it convenient, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Put it in gear and go. Hit two pedals, brake and gas. Now you can fucking hit cruise control and it'll brake for you. Like, the goddamn car brakes for you and everything when you're in cruise control. It's crazy. It'll stop at stop signs. You're like, okay.
I switched to an automatic from manual because I smoked. So,
right.
One hand on the shifter, one hand on the wheel. How am I supposed to smoke my cigarette?
So, you have it in your mouth, probably burning the shit out of your legs.
Like that, yeah.
and people pay for DoorDash. Like we pay for
Julio.
Dude, I'll tell you, this is embarrassing, but I'll show you. So this morning I woke up. It was a beautiful day outside. It was 7:30. I'm like, I'm ready to attack the day.
7:30 in the morning, you?
Yeah. So I ran around my house. I'm cleaning and stuff. I'm like, I really want coffee, but I'm out. I'm like, well, I could drive to Safeway and get coffee, or I can just DoorDash McDonald's and have them send me. So I did that.
No.
I get a couple hash browns, egg muffin.
You spent
coffee.
$50 for McDonald's?
Actually, it was only like $22. Wasn't actually that much more than if I would have driven there, to be honest with you. But to your point, Dave, you're right. It's just laziness. I'm like,
that's Doc. It's true. I mean, but we didn't have air conditioning in houses till like the 50s, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine living without it.
I could live without it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, year round in Georgia, Florida?
Yeah.
I don't think so, dude.
You just got some fans, right? You put the fans
I have ceiling fans, and I keep my air conditioning at 78 degrees. And people are like, I need it to be 65, and I'm like, I don't need it to be 65.
No, 78? Holy shit, Derek.
78, and I got ceiling fans.
But when it's 98 degrees outside, 78 feels really fucking good.
Yeah.
And the humidity's out of the house at 78 degrees.
And
So.
my utility bill altogether is $150.
All right. You're right. Nobody's died from 78 degree heat. So you're correct.
Right.
Yeah. Because I'm all about being comfortable. I don't need to be like chilly as all chilly can be. Just comfortable. So if I need to move it down a little bit, I will. But as long as I'm comfortable, I'm good. So anyway, anywho.
And weirdly, that's kind of how we've ended up moving here to Christmas.
New England is putting a hurting on Buffalo, Julio.
That time because Clifton got smarter, the video shop got scruffier and scruffier, and poorer, and we just couldn't afford the rent there.
Go Lions! Even though they were sloppy, still go Lions.
Yeah, both your boys did good today. The Lions.
They weren't sloppy, dude. They had late injuries in their fucking defensive backfield, so they were just dropping bombs on us at the end.
Yeah, but we had what 5 or 6 penalties, and then they scored once just because we couldn't stop doing penalties.
Yeah, like I said, that's because we had backups to backups in the backfield, and they were getting fucking defensive holding shit. It was 28-3 at one point. So.
Handled the Redskins today, my boys.
Dude, you had a double good day because the Eagles lost.
Yes. Yep. So it's a good day. All of our teams won,
and they were dominating that game. The Eagles, they were up 17-0.
I know. Yep.
Yeah.
And
But Patriots are up 20-10.
My Tigers are losing currently 3-2.
Well, they can overcome
That's
that.
fine though. They split on the road. That's fucking great in the playoffs, dude.
Yeah, that's not too shabby.
No, that's fucking great.
What name is it? Maybe, yeah. Is it on James? This is the longest running video shop in the world. It's like continuously been running for over 37 years. Cool, there you go. And they're fine for a week. And this is like
How does he know world? You know what I mean? That's kind of a big ask.
the biggest collection in the UK by quite a long way. Like we've got, it's over 20,000 movies, which is probably like, I think about 5 times more than Netflix.
Yeah, but Netflix just rotates. And it gets annoying.
The earliest video shops opened in like the late 70s.
Hey, she's doing
in
that.
LA, New York, maybe some in Japan.
I was gonna say, I love the TVs in the background. See them? They're like in a big circle.
Well, there goes the neighborhood. Yeah.
It wasn't even that long ago, like 10 years ago. Every village would have had a video shop. London doesn't even have a video shop. No. I don't think Manchester does. Like, it's nuts.
This really is the end of an era. Blockbuster
Doc
will
says
close all of its
Whole
remaining
House
stores,
fan,
about 300 of
best
them,
invention
and
ever.
shut down
Wet
its
air
DVD
from
mailing
outside,
service.
exhaust through attic.
Probably survived
I need to get mine
the
installed.
Netflix
I need
cult
to
just
check
by
that out. A
playing
Whole House
awesome.
fan.
I wouldn't say we're necessarily a successful video shop. I mean, we're kind of the last tree in the forest. So, I mean, is that a successful tree? But we're still here.
It got to the point where it was either take over the business or lose your jobs. And so it was just like, there's our credit cards, we'll put in. And it was almost like you're just thrown in. And it's always been a struggle and a fight. And there's never really been much breathing space.
One year, when all was said and done, we made £24. To be honest, like, I don't really mind it's not for profit. Like, it'd be nice to have a little build-up of a reserve fund, but like, the fact we're paying, you know, sort of 4 staff, like a living wage, we're paying our rent, paying our bills. Yeah, we're giving money to the right people, essentially, and we're not in debt. It's amazing that people are still renting movies, in my mind anyway, considering
It is
how much
amazing.
is out there.
The streaming
Why would you do
wars
that?
are escalating with Disney Plus launching today. It's the latest streaming service.
I mean, I don't know. I just I'm hoping that there's more people like me that like the process and like the nostalgia bait of it. You know?
See, you know, Julio, you just asked why do people rent movies, right? Well, first of all, when you go to the store, it can be a social experience. You get to talk to the owner, you get to talk to the guy behind the counter. Just like when I go to the liquor store, right? And I get to talk to people there. It's fun. It's the same reason. It's the same reason bars still exist, Julio. You can drink at home all fucking day long if you want to.
You don't say.
But you also can go to the bar and drink as long as you want there and talk to people, right? Like they like that part of it. Like even if they're lonely as fuck and they say hi to the bartender and you say hi to them and you ask them how their day is and that's the only interaction they get, it's better than they were going to get at home getting zilch because they got nobody in their life. or whatever.
I enjoyed that part, going and talking to people that are like-minded of me.
Sure.
And for that not to be around anymore, that's just kind of a...
It's like comic book
downer.
Comic book stores have died too, right? They're slowly dying.
Record stores.
You know, I mean, you've got the chain, what's it called? Comics or Comic Zone or whatever. Like that's a chain brand of comic stores, but they're not the same as the guy that owns this video store, because the guy that, like we were saying earlier, the guy at Blockbuster wasn't Quentin Tarantino. He didn't know who the fucking set director was for goddamn Rio Bravo, right? He didn't know that shit. Quentin Tarantino, the guy at the Graham Cracker Comics, he don't know that shit. He just, they're just like Blockbuster for comics. They get this shit in, they throw it out on the shelf, and they've got something that they like, and they put a bunch of shit on sale every day because it ain't selling. And Doc says, if I have a choice, I pick physical over streaming every time. You know what, dude? I've got a shit ton of movies, physical, that I could reach over there and grab. But I just fucking go to a streaming service. I don't know what the fucking, like, it's like, Julio, you got a shit ton of records, but you turn on fucking goddamn Amazon Music or Spotify.
Yep. I don't even have a shit ton of records. I have like 40. But I play them here and there, but most of the time, if I want to hear something, I'll just find it on YouTube or Spotify.
It's fucking weird, right? We like having it, but and I'm not I will rewatch movies that I like a lot, but I don't rewatch them a lot. You know what I mean? I've seen it. I don't need to relive it.
Yeah.
When I do, like, there are certain movies when they see them on, I don't turn the channel. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'll just keep watching this. It's comfort food.
Derek, do you have a DVD collection or a VHS collection or anything?
Not anymore. I used to. I used to have a bunch, but when I was younger, we were moving a lot. It's just like your collection goes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yep. It's the same with books. I used to have an entire basement with shelves of books.
Yeah.
And due to a divorce, I had to start selling stuff off, whatever.
And the problem is
everything I read is on the Kindle now. Like,
and
why,
none of that
I don't have
shit's worth
space.
anything either. Like, you sell it, you get like $2 for your DVD. You're like,
CDs. No,
yeah.
you're right. You're right.
They're not worth shit.
You get a quarter for a CD, and
yeah, and you're offended. Well, you're offended when you go to a yard sale and the guy's asking for like $2 for a CD. You're like, motherfucker, this is a yard sale.
I gotta go to Joe's place over here and get it for a quarter.
No, fuck you think you are? $2.
How about you? Like, I will say, one day we were at a yard sale and the lady had all these DVDs and Blu-rays in a box, and I'm going through the box, and I looked at her and I said, "How much for the fucking box? Because I don't want to sort through all this shit." She goes, "What do you offer me?" And it was like 150 movies. I said, "How about 55 or $50?" She said, "Take them." I said, "Cool," because that's what it is, dude. You want the shit out of your house at some point, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, I just need it gone. I don't watch these, and they had a shit ton of other stuff too that they're just trying to get rid of.
It's one thing about, like, I live in a very, well, not very small, but it's a 1-bedroom apartment. You have to be Spartan. You have to stop thinking it's about the things.
Or you can become a hoarder. Either or.
Or
right?
you can become a hoarder, which I don't have the space or money to do. So
a hoarder or whore?
She was a hooah.
What?
Dude, you know, Julio, I woke up today at 10 o'clock, right? Like you. I mean, I did go to bed at 3, but I woke up at 10. I was like,
yeah.
I was on fire, dude. I mopped my entire basement, swept my entire basement, cleaned showers and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? This is Sunday rest day.
Oh, believe me, after I was done being the whirling dervish around my apartment, it was rest, because then I watched football and just chilled out.
Yeah, that's fine though, but you got stuff done. Like, yeah.
Competing with current offerings like Netflix, Hulu, CBS All Access, and Apple TV.
There's so much shit on Netflix. There's some good stuff as well, admittedly, but it's hidden behind all of the trash.
Hello.
And if you come here, then you can talk to someone who knows about, or at least likes, film, and then actually have a conversation rather than just trusting an algorithm that doesn't really work.
Shit, but you have to,
That's
like,
what people are really essentially coming in for. Sometimes the movie's immaterial.
And
It's a
apparently
social
they have a
interaction
VPN
that in
hooked up to your
today's world
Netflix.
there's less and less of.
You can see like the British version and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I used to work in a video shop when I lived in Pittsburgh, which has long since closed down. That was VHS tapes. It was just on the cusp of DVDs coming out. We were kind of renting video games and renting out video game consoles because it was kind of felt like things were slipping away from the successful model that VHS rentals had been for such a long time. And it was just a great place to just hang out, talk about films, and there was a pizzeria across the street and we'd swap pizzas for video rentals, and it was just this barter economy which suited me really well, and that kind of vibe has kind of continued here at Flix as well. So I think it's important to keep that alive. There's something special about that time and space that these online options don't offer.
For me, there was a lot more surrounding that. There was a bit more ritual, I guess. There was this whole process you'd go through and sort of returning it and maybe even talking about it with someone afterwards, rather than just be like...
Doc says, I didn't think I was a hoarder until I went to sell my 5-bedroom house with a full unfinished basement. Holy shit, stuff literally appeared out of nowhere as I started to clean out. Dude, I'm like, man, I love this house, but dude, it's a lot of house, Julio. And, as the kids go away, it's like, we're going to have to probably downsize. I'm thinking to myself, there's no fucking way. I am not going to there's no way I'm going through all the shit in this house, in the garage, in this basement, and getting rid of it. I will just fucking, I guess.
Are you a hoarder, Dave?
No. Like, dude, not at all. But like, there's just a lot of stuff. It's a big house. There's just so much shit, and I use it. Like, but I got all these fucking toys, which I like to look at and all that stuff. But I was telling last night on my stream, I was asking Joe Juxtapose because the Kane County Toy Show is coming up at the middle of this month. I said, Joe, do they buy toys there if I show up with some toys? He goes, if you show up and tell me you have toys for sale, people will take your number, and then you can call them after the show and hook up. I'm like, okay, because there's a lot of shit I'd like to get rid of. Mm-hmm. I've got 6 long boxes of comics that I probably need to get rid of. Well, dude, I'm every day is a day closer to the fucking grave, man. And I don't want my wife having to deal with all this shit either.
Oh, that's fair.
Right?
See, I've lived, my second wife and I lived in a hotel for a year because we're like, I don't know, what else do we need? We travel a lot. We work remotely. The fuck do we need to pay for it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it got to the point where we got the mindset, like, if you can't fit everything that matters to you into your car and leave, you've got too much shit. Then she wanted to get a house, and I'm like, well, if we get a house, you're going to want to fill it with stuff, which is what happened in the end.
Of course.
So
it's your house.
Yeah, but I think there's something like, if you're in a small space and don't have room, you learn to not care as much about things, I guess. And I'm still the same way. Like, I have a go bag. I know exactly what I'm getting here if I need to leave, and I'll just throw it in my car and gone.
Yeah, I'm a minimalist like that, where everything that I own, I use.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't use it, bye.
Yeah.
It's a dust collector.
Okay, so
but it took me a while to get there.
Like the picture hanging on the wall behind you, Derek, that's a dust collector.
Yeah, but it's a prop for the show.
But you don't use it.
No, I'm talking about like I'm using it because it's a prop for the show. I'm talking about in the over here in the corner. It's not I don't have that stuff.
Yeah, Dave. Well, you got a lot of room to talk, Dave. Look behind you.
I don't mind my stuff collecting stuff. I also.
I'm just busting your balls.
No, but dude. You want to see something? Look at my fucking pool table. I can't play pool on my pool table. Look at
what's
that.
On there? What the hell?
It's fucking Glen Cairns. It's cats. It's toys that I want to sell. I've got some Star Trek toys over there that I'm going to sell. Some Beavis and Butthead toys I'm going to sell. Fallout. I think I get this 18-inch gigantic Fallout fucking bobblehead. And
Jesus, I don't have that. Nor do I want it.
Really, because it's fucking badass. And then I've got a bunch of Cyber Frog toys over there I'm going to sell.
It's like your distribution center.
dude, that's just the fucking pool table. That's all I'm saying. Like,
you know I'm right, Dave. I got you. I've been there, dude.
I enjoy the stuff. I do enjoy it, but after a while, it's got to rotate. I move it out.
It's got to rotate out the hell out of here.
I always found, I think it was Doc that mentioned, or I think it was Doc that said that he had so many books, like jokingly said his top floor almost. I had probably 1,000, 1,500 books that I maybe read 5% of.
Oh yeah, dude.
And here's why: because I was not happy in my life, and I was trying to replace happiness with things.
Oh well, I don't have that problem.
I'm not saying you do. I'm saying for me, I was like, and I realized that, especially when I wound up broke. I'm like, you know what? I'm broke and happy. I don't need all that shit.
And Doc, it drives me crazy every time I look at it. Like I'm like, I need some more shelves. I just got to put up some more shelves.
Oh no, don't do that.
Well, I do, because I got some bourbon I got to get on a shelf and stuff too. But I'm no fucking craftsman. I can't build. I don't have the ability to build shelves that are going to look nice and be solid enough. And I'm not going to IKEA to buy that shit. I promise you that.
They'll fall down in about 5 seconds.
My entire apartment.
It's beautiful. You put one bottle on it. Boom.
I've bought enough IKEA shit for kids through the years. It's like, Jesus Christ, the shit just, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. You just understand you ain't going there to buy something that's going to last. Like, all I remember is my grandparents had the same couch and chair and tables and dining room table and coffee table my entire fucking life, and it was always comfortable. Like their cushions never. Couches today, after 2 years, they just sag. They're terrible. They suck. They're the worst, dude. Everything's disposable. I just built 5 shelves in my shed. I'm freaking sore. Getting old sucks.
I admire that, Derek. Don't you? I mean, I don't know, Derek. Are you like a handyman at all?
No.
I'm the
I can do the basic stuff. I can't make shelves and shit.
You know what? I know I could. It's measure and cut, right? That's what it is. That's what you got to do. The problem is I don't have the vision to see what I want it to be, right? So that's why I'm not an artist. Like I can't. When I close my eyes, I see black. I don't ever see color. I don't ever see images.
Dude, that's heavy, Dave, what you just said. That's fucking, I'm putting that in a song.
But it's true.
I don't ever see black?
Oh, dude, that's fucking amazing. When I close my eyes, I see black. That's
yeah.
What do you mean by that, Dave? That's interesting. Like,
flush it out. Flush it out.
No, I'm seriously.
People will say they can close their eyes and they can see like they can imagine, like they can see like an image of whatever they're thinking about. I have never been able to do that in my life.
Oh, I see that.
Ever. I have never been able to do that. When they say, hey, Dave, imagine, like, close your eyes and imagine what you'd like that shelf to look like. I'm like, nothing. It's black. There's nothing there to see. So yeah, like it's just dark. there's no pictures in my head.
I'm writing that down too. You're getting a writing credit for my next song, Dave.
No pictures in the head. All I see is black.
That's amazing.
Scorpio says, measure once, cut twice. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's
just
kind of the
measure
reverse.
0 times, not bother.
Lazy Boy sucks now. I have a nice Lazy Boy from the early 2000s. Yeah, Lazy Boy today is no better than Ashley Furniture. And Ashley Furniture is the biggest overpriced garbage out there, dude. That's the most mass-produced garbage in every fucking furniture store. And they try to make it a friendly price, but it's not friendly, dude. Oh, it's only $600 for our recliner. Yeah, but I would have rather spent the $1,500 that's going to last me for 10 fucking years or 12 years. Not one that's going to last me for 2 years and it's going to sag and then you get the power ones and the fucking cords, are shit or the electric goes out in them. God damn it. It's all garbage.
Derek, when you're in your creative space, like writing movies and stuff, like what's your process there? Do you sit at a desk with a notebook? Do you sit on a chair and think about it? Like,
no, I don't force it. I don't force anything at all. If I get a bug up my ass and want to make something, I'll I'll grab some paper. I'll write it down. If I'm near my computer, I'll write it down. Sometimes I've woken up in the morning and like, oh shit, gotta write that shit down.
Sure. Yep.
So I don't force anything.
I will say one thing though, Julio. Even though I can't see anything when I close my eyes, like no colors, I can't imagine a bluebird and see the bluebird, anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But I do dream.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. Like at least I'm not that fucked up. I do dream. But it does bother me. My wife's like, you can't see like a fucking red robin if you close your eyes and tell yourself to see it. I go, babe, I don't like if I do close my eyes, Julio, and I see a little glimmer of light, I'm like excited. I'm like, oh my God, there's a little ray of light and it goes away. It's gone. Like, oh fuck. Gone.
That's
Nothing.
interesting. Because one of the reasons we've talked about this, Dave, and Derek, I know you're a teetotaler, but one of the reasons I like to get a buzz and get a little drunk at night is because it quiets my sleep.
Well, it lets me go to sleep.
No, I don't have dreams every 2 hours that wake me up.
My issue is not the dreams so much. My issue is falling asleep.
Oh, I don't have that problem.
See,
I put on Jim's channel.
I do too.
I like if I don't have a couple drinks or whatever, it'll take me an hour and a half, 2 hours to fall asleep. It's so bad, dude. Like my wife is the person, head on pillow, out. Like
I don't get it. I don't understand. My wives were like that too. I'm like, how can you do this?
You guys are weird because I can literally leave the stream, get ready for bed, go lay down, watch Jim's stream for maybe 20 minutes. I'm out.
I admire you, Derek.
Maybe some baseball highlights or like hockey highlights or something, and then I'm out.
Nope, not me, dude. Like
I've been like that since forever. Like since I was a little kid.
My wife's not 20 minutes. Literally, my wife could be 20 seconds. Like she can put her head on the pillow and I'll say good night, and she's already. I'm like, what?
See, I was just like, don't you have anything to worry about before you go to sleep? What are you going to sleep so quickly for?
That's my thing, Julio. Like,
yeah.
Like you, and I don't have kids to worry about anymore, but I still think about them. Like I don't have really things to worry about, but I still think about everything. It's like, well, I got to get up and do this tomorrow. I got to. Blah, 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 blah. Like, shut the fuck up now. When I go to bed with the buzz, I ain't got nothing to worry about tomorrow because I got a buzz right now and I'm going to go fall asleep.
God bless functional alcoholics, Dave.
I guess.
I'm a card-carrying member.
Dave is a real-life NPC. I've heard that before. Somebody said that on Twitter. Remember that, Julio, when I was called an NPC?
Well, lots of people say bad things on Twitter and in chat. I wouldn't bother taking that.
Oh, I laughed about it. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
These people don't know me.
So, Derek,
you don't pay my bills.
So this guy that owns the last video store in the world, apparently with the 20th, how do they possibly make money?
Good question. He said they made $14 in one day or something.
Yeah, that happens.
Well, let me hit play.
Have that awful countdown clock you get on Netflix where it's like, next episode starts in 12 seconds. Do not process what you've just seen. Do not talk about it. Do not remember it. The next one is coming.
That's pretty good.
There's just something about these videos that are so much more seductive. Even just the cases, like the physical case of them, and this tape, that you put in, and then this movie would start, and it's just like, and the trailers, just the whole experience. Is obviously something that I've nourished and cherished since I was a kid.
I respect it and I question it at the same time.
The shop wouldn't still be here if it wasn't for the two little cinemas. I mean,
Question what?
Why?
Why? What? Like a piece of movie sticks with you?
No. He's saying it's like he can't live without the store. What I was getting at.
Well, what if they took away your guitars, Julio?
I'd get over it.
Really? Are you? No, there's no way.
I go to my buddy's house and tell him to play the chords in my head. I'd outsource it. No, I got you. He's very passionate about it, and I respect that.
Yeah, like there's all
You're right.
things.
You're
There's like Julio, they outlawed beer again. What are you gonna do?
Not drink?
Could you go cold turkey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't drink that much. I'm not like drinking liquor every day and shit like that. And I drink
And you
5,
drink
6 beers.
You drink at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night is when you start. Like I don't ever day drink, dude. Ever. It's like I don't even think about alcohol at all, unless I'm bourbon hunting or something. But I'm not like thinking, oh my god, I need a drink. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's fucking retarded.
Yeah, Derek. My problem is boredom and nothing else going on. I'm like, well, I have a beer. I don't know. Just turn it into an AA meeting. Never mind. Hit play.
Is a small proportion of the income, maybe a quarter. So we have to have these to exist, really.
Cool.
See, that's badass right there.
That's fucking awesome.
They have 2 small cinemas in their fucking store. That's kick ass. Now imagine you go in there, you could rent it out with your buddies, and you want to watch like Chopping Mall. Julio, you're like, hey, let's get 5 or 6 or 10 guys, like, and we can rent it out these seats and watch it.
Right, Andrew.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Oktoberfest is about the only time I bother with beer. I don't do beer, dude. Like, I'll drink like Michelob Ultra because it's like water. It doesn't fill me up like regular beer does, Julio, like a Pilsner or a fucking, like, that shit's just too much.
It's gassy and just kind of like you feel like you got like a big bubble in your stomach.
And like it or not, dude, I do not drink all the time for the flavor. I drink for the effect. Okay? And I don't need to drink fucking 6 goddamn Pilsners to give me the effect of two ounce drinks of bourbon. It's the same goddamn thing.
I had a come to Jesus moment when I was younger, so that's why I don't really drink anymore. Because I think I've talked about, I don't know if I've talked about it on the stream or not, but New Year's Eve night, the millennium, I passed out in my car, had a bottle of vodka and a bottle of pucker, and was double fisting. I passed out in my fucking car.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
I've
never been able to drink that much ever again.
Well, you never should. Like,
I literally was opening up the car door, hoo-ah, close it. 2 minutes later, hoo-ah, close it again. Yeah, that was sort of a come to Jesus moment.
Well, you're a smart man, Derek, for not.
I was like 21, 22.
That is a sweet setup there up on the screen, though.
It's dope. I like it.
I was at Woodman's yesterday with my wife. It's a grocery store slash. It's a Costco without the membership. That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to buy a 12-pack of everything. You just buy singles, right? But it's employee owned and all this stuff. But they had if you bought a 24-pack of Michelob Ultra, you got 2 pint glasses for free that were Michelob. Like, that was kind of cool. Like, they didn't raise the price of the beer or anything, but here's 2 glasses too. Cool. Yeah, that video fucking store
We're in
theater
this
is awesome.
fairly unique situation. We've got all of these movies on site. It's like a jukebox. If they want to watch something, we'll have it, which nowhere else is in that position. No matter how obscure, it's just like, yeah, we have it. Go and watch it in the cinema.
Dingy and lovely at the same time.
Sort of like a foyer in between 2 tiny cinemas there, and it's just ridiculously popular. Then it got in the press, it got in the Guardian, and we're in Time magazine.
Nice.
I think we all feel that maintaining the video shop and protecting the rental side of things is incredibly important. It's not just a history of 20th century flicks, it's also to keep that collection together is like an archive. We're kind of custodians of that. And there is a responsibility to that, to keeping that alive.
But I think it needs to constantly be evolving in order to survive.
I could see it moving into a much bigger space. It would still have the rental, the cinemas, a bar, a little restaurant, retro arcade. I could see it being like a kind of emporium of like an old school type of experience. Whether that's me and Dave that take it to that point, I don't think so. I think we've almost taken it to the max we could.
There's an anxiety to surviving because we don't have any reserves essentially. So if we have a bad couple of months, I might have to put 500 quid or £1,000 in to cover our bills for a month. The thing that makes me put...
It's like John Cusack's record store. You mean this one?
Feel like the unappreciated scholars, so you shit on the people who know less than you. No, which is everybody. Yeah. Feel like
my own money in at those points is I'm supposed to be looking after this collection. I'm the custodian of this Bristol this piece of Bristol culture that we have to keep accessible and going. Otherwise, I'll be the person who killed Flicks.
Don't be the one to kill Flicks.
That's
Don't be that guy.
I mean, he's got that Tarantino passion, right? Just in a different way. He wants to keep the store alive.
I respect it.
All of cassette tapes. Holy shit.
Yeah. I got 3 more videos left.
All right.
That's a deep dive.
Oh, yeah. That's what we do on Sundays. We'll deep dive like a subject and just go to town on it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the satisfying click of sliding a cassette into a deck, the whir of the reels, and the anticipation as you pressed play? The cassette tape wasn't just a way to play music, it was an experience.
Yeah. A lot of times there was record stores and video stores all in one. So that's why I was like, that's why I grabbed this video and it was like, it's kind of related.
Yep, that's how it is now. I have a local place called Wonder Books, but there's a huge record section, a comic section, a movie section, all used.
Yeah,
and it's like a warehouse. It's huge.
And when we were talking to Savage, and we were talking about that big record store that's in L.A., Amoeba. That's the same thing. They've got records. The first floor is all records, tapes, all that. If you go upstairs, it's all movie stuff.
Yep.
From its heyday in the 1980s to its fall in the 2000s, the cassette tape was a cultural phenomenon, shaping how we listened to music, shared stories, and even expressed our creativity.
Feature on your cassette player.
In today's episode, we're diving into the story of how cassette tapes rose to glory, ruled the audio world, and eventually
I made mixtapes. I was a mixtape guy.
faded into the background. Welcome to the History of Simple Things, where we delve into the fascinating history behind the little things that shape our world.
Vagina?
Well,
the cassette tape.
That's a different video, Dave.
Was born in 1963.
That's behind the curtain.
Thanks
at the video
to
store.
Behind the curtain at the video store, next to the tape player.
Brilliant minds at Philips, a Dutch electronics company. Back then, the goal was simple: create a compact, affordable way for people to record and play audio.
Derek?
Early cassettes were mostly used for dictation. Think of journalists recording interviews or students taping lectures. They were small, portable, and easier to use than reel-to-reel tapes, which were bulky and required a fair amount of expertise to operate.
I didn't know they came out that long ago.
What really
63?
set cassettes apart was their magnetic tape technology.
And the tapes at the video store were the same exact thing. It was just delivered. It was packaged differently.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, so they use the same technology, VHSs and cassettes, like same idea?
Mm-hmm. Magnetized to reel inside of a tape.
Okay.
So, a very similar type of thing.
Thin strips of tape coated with magnetic material allowed sound to be recorded and played back with surprising clarity for the time.
Because I remember my mom had she was a master at the VCR. She would literally tape like Magnum PI, Miami Vice, all these things, and she had tapes on tapes on tapes, stacked up with tapes of all the stuff that she loved to watch.
I did the same thing with Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Okay.
Then at some point, I just threw them all out. Whatever.
Wasn't long before the cassette found its way into people's homes, schools, and cars. The cassette tape truly hit its stride in the 1970s, but the game changed forever in 1979 when Sony introduced the Walkman.
Oh, yeah.
Suddenly, Music was no longer confined to living rooms or car stereos. It became portable. You could take your favorite songs jogging on a bus ride or even to the beach.
This AI voice
This portability made cassettes the first truly personal music format.
Yeah.
Unlike vinyl records, which were more suited for group listening sessions, cassettes let you curate your own soundtrack for life. It was a revolution in how people consumed music, paving the way for the personalization we see in today's streaming platforms.
Hey, pause it real quick, Julio. If you know, we were all making mixtapes off the radio, right? And the radio was paying to play these songs, right? That's the deal. So weren't we all pirating from the radio stations?
Oh yeah, my mom was pirating Miami Vice and Magna PI.
It's kind of crazy. Like they let us, like they that was allowed. It really is. Yeah,
that's a good point, Doc. Yeah, you're right. I used to deliver the Washington Star, which is a newspaper that does not exist anymore. That was my first job when I was 13 or 14. I had one of those little cassette players to keep me company while I was doing my rounds. It was Def Leppard, Pyromania on one side, and Rush 2112 on the other. I must have listened to that goddamn tape 100 times back, like nonstop, just ingrained in my head. But he's right. Like it didn't skip. You're right.
Never skips. Yeah,
now sometimes sometimes the player would fuck the tape up, so you'd have to you get a pencil in the holes of the cassette, and you have to rewind the
and then maybe stick it in under the tape to untwist it a little bit and straighten it back out.
Yeah.
And you just knew
The
you were
1980s,
do it again.
cassette tapes were everywhere. They weren't just a way to listen to pre-recorded albums. They were tools for creativity and connection. Enter the mixtape. Making a mixtape wasn't just about recording songs. It was an art form.
Hold on, pause real quick, Derek.
Selected tracks.
I have an opinion on that mixtape. Give me a second. You go back a little bit. Okay, here we go. Shit song. Don't know it. That's good.
Sunday Bloody Sunday.
You're born in the USA, please. In the Air Tonight, that's a good one. Don't You Want Me? That's good. So, that's a jank mixtape. There's all kinds of stuff going on there.
Right? It's not cohesive.
No.
Making a mixtape wasn't just about recording songs. It was an art form. You carefully selected tracks.
Well, it was one of those things where it's like if you're making a rock mixtape, it better be fucking rock. You're not gonna put like R&B on a mixtape.
No, you got
to
it all had to have its own thing.
Yep.
Arrange them in a meaningful order, and maybe even decorated the case with doodles or notes.
No.
Mixtapes were deeply personal gifts. They could say what words couldn't, whether it was confessing love, sharing a friendship, or just introducing someone to new music. In a way, mixtapes were the original playlists, and their impact on relationships and music discovery was profound.
It's true.
Meanwhile, the music industry thrived. Cassette.
What's got going on here? Use Your Illusion 1 and 2.
Stuff, dude. I'm like
Van Halen.
Megadeth, Van Halen. Jesus.
There you go, Dave. Poison. Open up and say ah.
Dave, that looks like your cassette cabinet when you were young.
Well, there's Tesla, but there would never be fucking Poison.
I'm with
Def
you.
Leppard.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Skid Row, Black Crowes, all those guys.
GTR is a deep cut up there.
David Lee Roth.
I see Pyromania there too, Julio.
That album's so good. Fuck everybody who doesn't like that. It's great.
Trickster. Oh, right there. He's got a mixtape right in there.
Oh, that was see, that's the one I like. Look at that. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, and Rush, their live album from the 70s. Perfect.
Sales soared, with global distribution making music accessible to people from all walks of life. Albums released on cassette could reach remote areas where vinyl records were impractical. Cassettes democratized music in a way no format before them had achieved. While cassettes were wildly popular, they weren't perfect. Sound quality was always a point of contention. Compared to vinyl, cassettes had limitations, hissing, muffled tones, and the occasional need to rescue your favorite tape from a tangled mess inside the player.
VHSs are the same exact thing.
Oh,
same
yeah.
exact thing.
You know what? There was nothing worse than getting a scratch on your fucking record, Julio. Oh, that scratch vinyl, and it goes tink, tink, tink.
Well, you know what the trick was, Dave? You have to put a nickel on the arm of where the needle is.
Oh, where the head is? Yeah.
It puts more pressure down on the record and it won't skip.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. That's the hack. I wish I would have knew that 40 years ago.
Then came the competition. In the late 1980s, compact discs, or CDs, started gaining traction. CDs offered better sound quality.
Now, CDs and DVDs pretty much came around the same time, right? Because it's basically the same technology, right?
I think CDs were more music, DVD.
Well, because DVDs had
the technology came out around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Videos on disc and music on disc. Yeah.
All right.
Durability and the ability to skip tracks effortlessly. By the early 1990s, CDs were rapidly replacing cassettes as the preferred format for music lovers.
True.
Music.
Because you could
The
record on
1990s marked the beginning of the end for cassette tapes. As CD players became more affordable and music shifted towards digital formats, cassettes began to lose their appeal. By the early 2000s, MP3 players and file-sharing platforms like Napster delivered the final blow. Suddenly, music was no longer tied to a physical format. It was stored in tiny devices or streamed online.
And nobody got paid
Cassettes
for it.
couldn't compete with the convenience of digital music. They were bulky, required rewinding, and their sound quality didn't match up.
True.
Record labels stopped producing albums on cassette, and tape decks started disappearing from cars and home audio systems.
Now CD players are gone.
Yet even as cassette tapes faded into obscurity, they never truly disappeared. Nostalgia has a funny way of reviving old trends. In recent years, cassettes have seen a surprising resurgence, albeit in niche. Sliding a cassette in.
Oh, shoot. What I was going to say is, because there's stuff that never made it. Same thing with VHS to DVD. There was a lot of movies that never made it from one to the other.
Yep.
Music is the same thing. There's a lot of tapes out there that never made it to CD.
I think tapes were like a bridge between vinyl and CD. Like the cassette tapes didn't last that long as a thing.
That's why I never understood
Not commercially. It did as a technology because it was 64, dude. 64 to the 90s. That's 36 years or 26 years.
Yeah, but I mean like mass produced and mass purchased. I think the cassette window was smaller than the DVD window. I mean the CD window and the vinyl window. But he's right. Like it's like 5 or 6 years ago, my youngest daughter's like, "Oh, we're all into cassettes now." I'm like, "Okay."
I'm
Wouldn't
just
be
saying,
my choice, but fine.
Because me being a purist, like I understand the availability and the convenience of getting your favorite music or movie on streaming. I get it. But there's a lot of stuff out there that's never made it to streaming and never made it to DVD or DVD. So I never understood why it was like it has to be 100% scratched out of history. Like I never understood that because it's like there's a lot of shit out there that still is on VHS. Like a lot of old classic horror movies never made it to DVD.
That's what makes it so like the Internet Archive is an important site. You can find all kinds of old stuff there. But yeah, there's stuff like I remember as a kid that it's impossible to find now. Yeah, and it's just lost. It's gone, which is the way it used to be. But with all
which is sad, especially for a band or a singer from back then that was really good and popular, and you can't hear them anymore. Sorry.
Today, cassette tapes are relics of a bygone era, but their influence is undeniable. They paved the way for portable music, inspired the creation of playlists, and reminded us that sometimes the imperfections in a format can make it special. So whether you're someone who remembers spending hours crafting the perfect mixtape or a curious soul discovering cassettes for the first time, there's something magical about these little plastic rectangles. They may no longer rule the audio world, but their story is a testament to the power of music to evolve, adapt, and connect us all. The cassette tape's journey is a reminder that every technology, no matter how revolutionary,
it's like very, very bad porn music. Boom.
Yeah, it's AI music
has its
and an
time.
AI narrator.
But just because something fades doesn't mean it's forgotten. The cassette left behind a legacy of creativity, connection, and most importantly, the joy of music.
That's not wrong. The real
What are
legacy
your
of the
memories of cassette tapes? Did you have a favorite mixtape? Or do you still have a stack of
All
tapes
right,
gathering
enough of this
dust somewhere?
bullshit, AI.
Share your story.
The real memory of cassette tapes, like you guys are saying, is like records you couldn't make a mix vinyl.
Right.
Cassette gave you an opportunity to make your own set list.
Well,
and
it
share
gave you
with
an opportunity to listen to American Top 40, record the 5 or 10 best songs of that week, and listen to them the rest of the week on your own. You had that. Buffalo lost, by the way.
Holy shit. Shocking.
Yeah.
That's your shocked face?
Well, I have a running. My son and I pick games every week, and I've. Oh, that's all right. He missed that one too. Fuck him. He sucks.
All right. So the last two videos I've got. One is the decline of Blockbuster Video, and then the other one is the decline of Hollywood Video, which I had both of them near me, but Hollywood was a little bit more prevalent in Metro Detroit. I mean, Blockbuster was there, but there was Hollywood Video, there was Family Video.
Yeah, it was the opposite where I was. It was mostly Blockbuster, but there was some Hollywood stores.
I'd never been to a Hollywood Video.
It's the same thing, type of thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just smaller.
Yeah.
So how do you watch a movie? You probably grab a cold beverage and a snack, sit down in front of your smart TV, laptop, tablet, or your phone, click on your favorite app, and start streaming. And if you get tired of your movie choice or decide you just want to check out another flick, you just back out and select another movie. Pretty simple, right? This is the world that we've become accustomed to, and for some, we're born into. Well, this wasn't always the case. There was once a magical time some of us are lucky enough to remember when selecting a movie was much more of a social and tactile experience. On a personal level, I feel a bit sad for anyone not old enough to remember the experience.
Thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like the nostalgia of going there and talking to like-minded people that like talking about the same thing you like talking about.
Experience of walking into a video rental store and slowly walking the aisles looking for that hot new release or long forgotten gem from the past. There was just something about walking in on a Friday night and picking out a movie or video game before stopping off to grab a pizza or a few burgers and going home to celebrate the beginning of your weekend. There was a particular feeling you would get walking the aisles and picking up and holding physical copies of movies in your hands. And as a kid in the 90s, I would study the front cover art before turning the box over to memorize the copyright date. So where did you go to rent your movies? Although there were many mom and pop and regional options to serve your video and game rental needs, the two major powerhouses were Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. This is the rise and fall of Hollywood Video.
You need to make these full
It all
size.
started back in 1984 when a young Portland, Oregon man named Mark Waddles considered starting a business renting VHS tapes after being gifted a VCR by his parents. Waddles wasn't the first to have this idea, however, as video rental...
Hot take, when I was 19, 20, I worked at Hollywood Video.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. It was not what I thought it was. Like, I thought I'd be able to, like, talk about movies, and most of the time I was literally just behind a register, scan, get the fuck out of here. Scan, get the fuck out of here. Scan. So, like, every so often I'd actually get to talk movies to somebody. It was kind of lame, honestly.
Yeah.
can be traced all the way back to mid-1970s Germany, when Eckhard Baum began lending out Super 8 films to friends and family before turning his hobby into a business. And almost simultaneously to the video rental dreams of Waddles, a little company called Movie Gallery was being started in Dothan, Alabama. More about them later.
Been there?
By 1985, Waddles had opened up a...
Really?
Yeah, I had in-laws down there.
Nice. What was it like? Just a mom and pop random.
Oh, no. Haven't been to the store. I've been to Dothan.
Oh.
500 square foot store in downtown Portland, stocking around 300 videos. And in 1988, Hollywood Entertainment was born, and Hollywood video stores began opening up in several more states across the western U.S. Within just 5 years, Hollywood had become a publicly traded company, and its stores were growing in both size and numbers. Stores now approached 8,000 square feet and were stocking over 15,000 video cassettes. With the average location bringing in around $1 million in revenue, 78 additional stores were scheduled to open in 1995 alone, and rival Blockbuster Video was beginning to take notice. That same year, Blockbuster filed a $10 million lawsuit against the company, alleging Hollywood had hired several former employees in an effort to steal trade secrets. In May, a judge ruled in favor of the much smaller Hollywood after determining Blockbuster had failed to prove irreparable harm had been done.
What a fucking shit company.
Shortly thereafter, Hollywood executives announced the company had planned to accelerate its location expansion by threefold within a 2 to 3 year time frame, and quickly completed a $59 million purchase of Video Watch, a 42-store chain based in the Midwest. The company continued to expand in both locations and sales throughout the rest of the decade and into the early 2000s, as copies of VHS titles diminished to make more room for the new and futuristic DVD. And although they never quite caught up to Blockbuster, there was a steady stream of healthy competition between the two companies throughout this time period. TV commercials aired and colorful mailer ads went out in attempts to give the customer the best deal possible. I'll never forget when Hollywood Video finally gave the people what they wanted. 5-day rentals across the board, no questions asked. I can remember arguing with friends over which major chain was better. I was more of a Hollywood guy myself. How about you? To me,
let's say, is that Kevin James to but now?
It just felt like they put more effort into their image from both an interior and
kind of looks like them.
An exterior standpoint. The stores look awful and dated to today's standards, but back in the 90s, it just felt more inviting and less generic than Blockbuster.
See, this was
I think
smart
I also
of them.
lived closer to Hollywood, so.
What was that?
They're like, what annoys people the most about Blockbuster? You have to get it
2-day
back
rental.
in 48 hours. So they're like, well, fuck it. We'll do the same thing. 5-day rentals. Simple. Very smart.
I mean, it is smart.
There was that. At the time of the early 2000s, things seemed to be looking great for Hollywood Video. They had managed to take a small Portland startup and turn it into a gigantic national chain in just over a decade, and had become the industry's second largest company. Truly an American success story. But that's about the time things began to come to an end. By 2004, the group had acquired quite a large sum of debt, partly due to the $100 million purchase of online company Real.com made in 1999, which failed a few years later, and the decision would ultimately be made to sell the company. By late 2004,
I think that was them trying to compete with an early Netflix, right? And it failed miserably?
Probably. I don't even remember Real.com.
Me neither.
Yeah. Because when did Netflix start doing their video where you get one, you send one in the mail, you get another one back? It was early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so it was their desperate attempt to compete.
Dude, I just saw tonight that Sunday Night Football is fucking 20 years old. This is the 20th anniversary of Sunday Night Football.
Well, like we were saying earlier, the years go faster as you get older.
I agree, Doc. Hollywood Video Stores Neon was awesome. Blockbuster was generic and boring. Like, yeah. I love neon signs, dude. I think they're incredible. That's artwork. These fucking,
it's definitely eye-catching.
These fucking backlit plastic signs that Blockbuster has? Fuck off.
Blockbuster was back to take another swing. This time, they wouldn't try to sue their closest competitor, but instead attempt to acquire them in what was described as a hostile takeover, with an offer of shares and cash worth nearly $1 billion. And after a bit of a bidding war with Movie Gallery, Blockbuster would eventually drop its bid, citing the likelihood that the Federal Trade Commission would reject the deal on antitrust grounds. And in April 2005, Hollywood would agree to the deal with Movie Gallery, which it appeared to have favored all along. $850 million later, the deal was done. Hollywood Video had become a subsidiary of the once smaller Movie Gallery Incorporated. Things got much worse from here. Just 2 short years later, in September 2007, the company would begin to disclose its financial difficulties and closed shop on 500 of its 4,500 stores.
They paid like shit. You would think a place like that, because there's higher volume. No. They probably paid just as much as the fucking mom and pop place did.
Yeah. Yep. You're probably
and
right.
1 year later, Movie Gallery Incorporated would file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company attempted to reorganize by closing several hundred more stores, replacing the CEO and relocating its headquarters to Winsonville, Oregon. But it wouldn't be enough to prevent the inevitable. With alternative rental companies like Netflix, Redbox, and Gamefly.
Because ultimately, these bigger companies would get 50 copies of, I don't know, Rocky IV.
Mm-hmm.
And people weren't coming to rent them, so they weren't making their money back on the upfront money that they had paid the studio or whoever for those copies. Yeah, so they just kept accruing debt. You know what I mean?
Yep. Whoever came up with the Netflix idea with like mailing movies out is a genius, because Netflix killed all these stores in 2007. Like, well, you don't have to leave your house. Just order it online and we'll send it to you in your mailbox.
Lazy people.
Same with Gamefly. That was the same thing for video games.
On the rise, and the ever-advancing
lazy people ruined something I liked.
Well, I'm lazy,
technology
but yeah, you're right.
of video streaming becoming a legitimate option. It was only a matter of time before the fate of Movie Gallery, Hollywood Video, and Game Crazy would be sealed.
Boy, that escalated.
In late 2009, stocks fell from 125.
Here's a nice start.
A share to just a nickel. The following year would be the last, as more stores were shut down and the company began scrambling to survive. In a last-ditch effort, an attempt at another Chapter 11 reorganization was made, but quickly the decision was made to move forward with a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. The last Hollywood Video and Movie Gallery stores closed on July 31st.
I think that Terminator poster in the background would be cool.
Somebody
2010, and all of our late fees were forgiven. If you drive around your town today, you may notice some familiar
Big Woody's Sports Bar.
That's a good name.
Looks like Hollywood Video just changed their name.
Looking buildings. Dental offices, beauty shops, and sports bars now fill those once magical movie-filled spaces.
Aww.
Well, I'm depressed now.
All right, this is the last one, and this is the decline of Blockbuster Video. What really happened behind the Blockbuster name?
Everyone remember Blockbuster? Not the Blockbuster that's been reduced to a punchline. The Blockbuster from back in the day.
Julie had been
the
right
video
there,
rental store you used to.
Yep.
Right here in the game. PlayStation 3.
Well, it wouldn't have said PlayStation 3. It would have said SNES Saturn in my day. But yeah, I would have been in that
frequent. Remember walking through the doors and heading over to the new releases around the outer walls, recognizing some of them from the week before, and getting excited when you saw something new. Making your way around the store, methodically looking at each movie until you've reached the other end. Picking up a movie you're sure you're going to rent, and one that you may put back if you see something better. Taking a minute to make sure you're happy with your selections.
I'll check it out. Video time? Videodrome Las Vegas, 1992.
Because it was a big decision back then. There was no starting the movie just to see what it is and turning it off and searching for a new one. Those were your movies for the weekend. Taking a quick look through the aisles with the old releases before heading to the checkout counter. Maybe you would pick up some popcorn or candy on your way. And then checking out and paying $20 for a handful of movies and some red vines. It wasn't all good. But I'm willing to bet most of us have these positive memories associated with the store. At the time, it was the best way to get movies. Sure, you can go to the store and buy them at an outrageous price. You could wait until something...
Not anymore, because most Walmarts have either downscaled their music and movie area, or they don't have it at all.
Yep.
In like Target.
Yeah. That's wild. That was another place to go and grab movies and at a discount, because they always had the bins. They had like the buy 4 for $20 or whatever it was.
Came on TV, or pay for the movie channels and increase your chances of something good coming on. And there were many competing movie rental stores such as Family Video and Hollywood Video, but they just didn't compare. Personally, whenever I would go to one of those other stores, I just didn't get that same feeling as being in a Blockbuster. Like they were just cheap imitations. There's no doubt about it. Blockbuster was the place for movie rentals. The company started in 1985. It wasn't long before that when most people didn't even have a VCR.
There's actually a couple Blockbuster videos that are still around. They're still open.
Is that right?
There's like a couple of them that are like independently owned, and they were independently owned back in the day, and they never closed because they weren't adhered to like all the Blockbuster corporate stuff. Yeah.
Franchise.
Yeah. So there's a couple left.
The company expanded fast, and by the time the 1990s came around, Blockbuster was pretty much the standard for video rentals. It's a decent business idea. Buy a bunch of VHSs and rent them to people until you recover your cost, and once you're done renting it out, just sell it. They would buy them in bulk and have the benefits of some substantial discounts as well. And if the cost did get too high, they would work out revenue sharing deals with the studios. There's definitely opportunity to make a profit. Not to mention they did the exact same thing with video games. And the rentals weren't their only source of revenue. I took these numbers from 2003, just randomly so I have some figures to illustrate what I'm saying. The rentals...
Yeah, it's just like the supermarket with the candy and the popcorn. The markup was huge on that stuff.
Yep.
So they were making more money on the merchandise and the candy and popcorn than they were on the rentals.
It's the same thing in bars. I used to do accounting for a bar. You know how much a pint of beer costs? Like the Coors Light, Bud Light. It costs 17 cents.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And you're getting charged, well, nowadays, like
$5.
Yeah.
Brought in about 77% of their revenue. 22% was from merchandise, and about 1.5% is from other. What is merchandise and what is other? Merchandise is the movie and game sales, not rentals but sales, which is about 70% of it. And the other 30% is general merchandise, meaning the popcorn or the milk duds or anything else they sell in the store. And what's the other portion of revenue? I'm not sure. There always seems to be a mysterious other category, but it's a small percentage. It's all a cool idea. It's a good business model for its time. In fact, it was a fantastic business model. So when did the transition happen? When did they stop being that beloved video store and start being nothing but a late night punchline? Looking at their revenue and number of store locations, it appears that around 20...
Look at that. Look at the drop. Like, hey, boom.
Yep. You're done.
God. And Blockbuster fell quick. It wasn't it was like overnight. They were the top of the head honcho, and then see ya.
Yep.
Okay, so 2005 to 2010, and they were done. 5 years, done. That's wild.
Same as Hollywood.
They kind of stuck it out, though, a little bit, and then all of a sudden, see ya.
2004, 2005 was their peak, and everything after that was downhill. Hard to say exactly when the transition happened. I'm going to say it was somewhere in the middle of that decade when it began, but wasn't fully completed until the end of it. So here's the big question. What happened to Blockbuster? I'm guessing the answer in everyone's head right now is that Netflix happened. And I'm sure it's going to be all over the comment section. But my conclusion at the end of the video is not that.
I mean, partially.
It's the ability to copy tapes on a VHS machine. I think that's what started it.
Well, the other thing too, though, is like, look, Netflix wasn't Netflix for a long time, dude. They were a struggling fucking mail order thing.
Yeah.
They weren't competing with Blockbuster that much. I mean, only thing that Netflix was good for was people in rural areas that didn't have a Blockbuster or a video store next to them that they could go visit, Julio, right? I mean, if I live in a town of 5,000 people and there's like no fucking video store there and I could go to Netflix and have them mail it to me, I did it. But if there would have been a Blockbuster in town, I would have never used Netflix.
But Netflix didn't have the brand new movies that just came out, though, right?
Yeah, they did.
They did?
Yeah. But the streaming shit took them a long time to make any impact. I mean, when I remember when they said they were going to start streaming, I'm like, I'll never fucking stream my shit. Like, I'm never going to do that, Julio. Like, I don't have the internet for that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the chance they took, depending on fucking internet getting better to make Netflix a more viable thing, for households.
We're wrong sometimes. I was a video game journalist for 7 or 8 years, going on press junkets, getting sent review copies, and I'm like, who would ever pay for microtransactions? What a dumb idea. Boy, was I wrong.
Fucking download digital games. You need to own your fucking disc, dude.
Yep.
And I thought that too. After about the 20th time of coming home and putting my disc in and say you can start in 4 hours after you download these first 30 gigs, I'm like, wait a minute, the game's never on the disc. It's never on the disc. It's a fucking license to let you download it.
Yeah. But like I said, whoever came up with the idea for Netflix, like the mailing and like Doc said, the queues and stuff, he's a genius.
It was genius. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the beginning of the end of Blockbuster is when they had, like we were talking about earlier, the double deck cassette tape. You can rent a movie from Blockbuster, put a blank tape in the other one, copy it, and you're
never had to rent that one ever again.
Right.
Yeah, but when Blockbuster died, it was DVD. But we could burn our DVDs to ROMs too. So yeah, we could burn them to our CDs.
How about torrents? Torrents was starting to get big around this time too, right?
Yeah. Well, I was fucking bananas on Napster. I went crazy on that shit.
Oh, I did too, dude. Fuck.
But nobody pays for anything anymore.
But that had to have had some sort of effect, not just Netflix. People that were downloading movies and.
Yeah, but look, man, that's 2% of the business. The other 90% are housewives and fucking dads taking their kids out to get a movie and some fucking pizza, so him and the wife can go drinking that night. You know what I'm saying, Julio?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know what torrent servers are. They don't know what any of that shit is. They're not. You know, there were some guys that were recording shit, but for the most part, what killed Blockbuster also is sometimes like fads fade away, right? Like maybe we got sick of renting movies and people were going back to theaters. I'd like to see what the theater numbers were at the time in 2005 when maybe they were going back up at the same time. I don't know. I mean, who am I to say?
Yeah. Well, it's also one of those things where Monday through Thursday, it's a ghost town at the video store. And only Fridays and Saturdays is when it was busy.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, movies are a fad now. TV shows are a fad, like you were saying, Dave. Like, who the fuck knows what's on ABC, CBS, other than football?
Well, and like the guy said at the British fucking video store, he goes, Netflix shows you an episode and then gives you a 12-second countdown so that the next episode in that series can start.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what the fuck you just watched. You're just rolling right into the next one. It's like, it's just blah. Here you go. Just keep watching. And I don't even know what why they care if I keep watching a show, because it ain't like there's any ads, right? There's no ads that they're getting me to watch. So I don't even know how Netflix makes money besides the fucking memberships. I just don't get it.
The attention span of the American person is going down, down, down.
Yeah,
Like,
thanks to fucking shorts, thanks to goddamn reels, and thanks to shit like Netflix.
I
who
watched
gives you 8-episode seasons instead of 23 or 30 episode seasons.
I watch YouTube almost exclusively for my content because there's niche stuff. Like I want to watch a video about Paul McCartney. I can't find it on Netflix, CBS, ABC. I can find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
My kids watch Instagram Reels, like you said, Dave. Not so much TikTok as much anymore, but it's still around.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller because there's so much content out there. You can't consume it all if you spend more than 30 seconds paying attention to anything.
What? Yep. If I'm into something, I'm watching the whole thing. I'm not going like 30 seconds, it's done, or quick.
Yeah, but we're here, Derek. Let me explain. We're old. This is not the way kids think.
But I wasn't like that when I was younger. If I was into something, I'm not saying if it was some random shit.
Yeah, because when you were younger, Derek, when you were younger, there wasn't 10 million more shorts or 5-minute videos you could check out that might have a funnier 5-second opening. Like literally, the opening of your video is what hooks people, right? Like, or the fucking thumbnail. We're so goddamn retarded now. I told somebody this the other day. I've become the stupidest person ever now when it comes to driving. I used to be able to go someplace one time, Julio, and never forget how I got there.
Mm-hmm.
Now every time I go somewhere, I open up my map app and just fucking let it drive me there. Just fucking take me there.
I hear exactly. I can't get anywhere outside of like a 3-mile radius without GPS. I know one phone number. My ex-wife, my first one. That's the only phone number I remember. And some of my friends I haven't seen in 30 years, I remember their phone numbers. But you don't remember phone numbers. Like, why would I want to? It just says Dave. I'll just hit that. I don't know your phone number.
Dave.
I mean, I have your phone number, but I don't know it.
I'm just saying,
I mean?
like, oh, I'm going here. Type it in. And just let fucking my phone say turn left, turn. And it sucks. It really sucks. I used to be proud of the fact that I could leave my house and get anywhere if I'd been there before, Julio. I know how to get there.
Doc, don't forget to watch your transsexual content on Netflix before you get rid of it.
I saw that.
Exactly. But Netflix did survive when Blockbuster didn't. So what we should investigate is what separates the two companies. And I'm talking about the classic Netflix, not the streaming content, but sending DVDs to your house, because that's what Netflix was during this time. They didn't start streaming until around 10 years ago. As far as I see it, there were two big differences. One is what I just said. With Netflix, the movies come to you, whereas with Blockbuster, you go to the movies. So with Netflix, it's easier for the customer, but it's also more confined.
People are lazy.
Guilty as
There's
charged.
more freedom with Blockbuster because you can get movies at any time without having to wait for the mail. This aspect is really just a matter of personal preference. But the other big difference is that Netflix is a subscription charge where Blockbuster charges per movie. This is where Netflix has the edge. For what you pay during your weekly trip to Blockbuster, you could get a full month of unlimited rentals. So the logical thing for Blockbuster to do to compete would be to offer subscriptions for unlimited rentals at their stores. But it's not as simple as it sounds. In fact, none of this is as simple as it sounds.
Yeah, because they can't completely change their business model overnight. You can't do that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, yeah, they might be able to buy another company that does that's already set up a infrastructure, but it's not like they could be like, press a button and it's completely different.
Mm-hmm. They were behind the curve.
Yeah.
Today, people seem to look at Blockbuster as a group of boneheads that failed to see the changing climate of video rentals. That's right, I said boneheads. I'll get back to the Netflix thing in a second. The public seems to have...
I like him, because that's a word I would use.
Bonehead.
Boneheads.
Have this perception that Blockbuster thought in-store rentals was the only way to do business and just laughed at the idea of mail and streaming services. This isn't true. You may have heard this one before. In the year 2000, Blockbuster declined a deal to purchase Netflix for $50 million, a company that is worth billions today. But at the time, Blockbuster preferred to compete with them because they thought they could win. It wasn't that they were ignoring the business model that Netflix established, it's simply that they didn't think purchasing that company at that time was the right move. Sure, looking back, it's probably the worst decision they ever made. But how were they to know it at the time? I would have completely respected their decision to pass on the deal, and I'm sure most others would too. In fact, right around the same time, they entered into a 20-year deal that involved streaming video on demand using fiber optic technology that was much more costly than it would have been to purchase Netflix.
Look how ancient it is.
Beautiful.
That makes me feel old. That shit right there was like normal.
1 day rental though was $15.99, dude.
Yes, that's a problem.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah. Nowadays you can buy like 2 movies for that
Dude,
price.
like, why the fuck would I not just go to the store and rent it for 99 cents?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
The only problem is that the deal was with Enron and the technology didn't work, and Enron went bankrupt soon after and nothing came of it. It's a deal that could have put Blockbuster a couple steps ahead of Netflix. Here's some more evidence that Blockbuster wasn't ignorant about the whole mail and streaming thing. In a company's annual reports filed with the SEC, they include a section that identifies possible threats to the company. In almost every year that Netflix existed, they were listed as a possible threat, as well as video-on-demand services. And in the report from 2001, they actually talk about their efforts to enter into the market by teaming up with DirecTV. So don't make the mistake of thinking that Blockbuster was just ignoring all this. They were well aware of it and making efforts early on. But let's get back to why it's not easy to offer subscriptions like Netflix does. Those rental revenue numbers that I showed you earlier include something called late fees, something that's impossible to collect if the customer has an unlimited rental subscription. They were generating a healthy amount of income from late fees and were resistant to change.
Yeah, they couldn't change their business model quick enough.
Dude, if they're collecting a late fee 20% of the time, and they're going to get it. Because the person wants to rent another fucking movie. That was the nice thing about Netflix. I still have fucking Netflix movies in my house. They had a membership.
What?
They had a membership, so they're never late. There was never a return date on Netflix. You had an unlimited membership. You could watch that fucking thing for a year.
Yeah, but they wouldn't send you one again until you return.
One slot was taken out of the 3 you had.
Mm-hmm.
You could keep rotating the other 2.
Yeah, but you can keep one for months. They didn't care. They're like, well, you can keep it, but we're not sending you another one until you return this one.
And I'm still paying for the membership, so what the fuck do they care?
Change their structure to something that would completely eliminate them.
Now that, I mean, before they were pissed about their video store. Now they're worried about dicks and balls. Like, who's got what?
However, in 2004, they started offering a subscription service called Blockbuster Movie Pass. And beginning the next year, they announced the elimination of late fees. But the thing is that if you're still renting out movies the traditional way, late fees are sort of necessary. They needed to have those movies back on time, and the motivation for the customer to do it was through the late fees. Their system was a little sketchy, where it gave the customer a grace period, and after enough time, they just said you owned it, and charged the full price of the movie. Eventually, they tried to enter every market. At the end of 2006, they launched Blockbuster.
You know how many times that somebody had taken a video, put a different disc in the fucking thing, put it in the return thing, and then had the actual new movie. Like, they would scam all the time doing that shit.
Yep. Because people that work there didn't check. They're like, whatever.
Oh no, we had to check because we had to open
did?
it up and scan it. Yeah. But like if Blockbuster has 50 of a movie and 20 of them are fucking heisted because some asshole.
Yeah.
Blockbuster Total Access, which was another online subscription service that allowed customers to check out multiple movies at a time. They could go through the mail just like Netflix, or exchange them at any Blockbuster store. It gained a lot of subscribers initially, but quickly went down. It was more expensive than Netflix, and I suppose the convenience of exchanging the movies in-store wasn't worth the extra money for the customer. They even tried Blockbuster Express, which was a DVD rental kiosk like Redbox, which eventually ended up in the hands of the Redbox people. In 2010, Blockbuster went bankrupt. Dish Network bought the company soon after, but haven't been able to do much with it. They've tried similar things, integrating it into their satellite service, but it seems they've basically given up. If you go
Doc, have you ever seen the YouTube? There is a couple documentaries about an hour long that talks about Columbia House.
I remember that.
And one of the DVDs, or one of the documentaries, is really good because it's a guy that starts at Columbia House, and it's like his whole career at Columbia House, and it's kind of like a documentary type thing. And some of the decisions that were made at Columbia House, what they would do is they would do the fucking, okay, so you had a CD from a band. They would copy that CD 500 times, put a sticker on it that says Columbia House, and then they would charge you $1 for it. So they were literally pirating a song or CD, and then put a sticker on that copy, and then send you the copy for $1.
Mm. Well, they never got a fucking dime out of me, and I got hundreds of fucking tapes from those people, dude.
From Columbia House?
Oh, dude, I fucking had so many Columbia House packages sent to my house as a kid. And
because you got them for like a penny, and some of them may be like, here's 10 CDs for $10 or whatever.
It was 12 records for a penny, and you have to buy 7 over the next
year.
So many year.
Yeah.
But the ones they would try to that you had to pay for were like way overpriced, like $19, $18 plus shipping.
Yeah.
And so you just get the 12 records for a penny and tell them to fuck off.
Go to Blockbuster.com today. It's pretty.
But I think that was just the new stuff was that $12, right?
Dude, I think it was all a fucking goddamn. It was a money laundering scheme.
Dude, you gotta watch the documentary. It's on YouTube for it's like an hour long. Yeah,
I will.
lot of skeezy stuff.
Vacant. Just a link to the Dish Network website and one to a list of the remaining locations. By the way, there's 12 of them, mostly in Alaska for some reason. As far as I can tell, Blockbuster is done. It would take some genius minds to make that name relevant again, and I doubt it would even be worth it. So here's how I see the whole situation. The whole renting movies in store and taking them home model is obsolete today. It was becoming obsolete with the DVD mail rentals, and the streaming has finished the job. The fact is that the service Blockbuster provided became useless, and the only way they would have been able to survive is changing everything. And you're probably not surprised by the fact that restructuring an entire business is difficult to do. They needed to break into that video on demand and video by mail industry. And as we saw, they gave it a try. They tried it with Enron, DirecTV, and started providing their own service.
Like an actor in Hollywood today.
This dude right here was an American Pie.
American Pie, okay.
Yep.
Eventually. But they didn't jump into it head first. We see this by the fact that they continued to open more stores. They were just experimenting with other services and seeing what would catch on and be profitable. They predicted that it was the way of the future, but it seems they underestimated how quickly the future came. They didn't feel the urgency to do it early on, and once they did, it was too late. But they're not exactly boneheads for going about it this way. I'm sure if I pulled you aside 15 years ago and asked you if you thought that video rental stores would be completely irrelevant in 5 years, you would have said of course not. And that's what Blockbuster thought. But let's remember exactly what Blockbuster provided. Netflix provides movies, but Blockbuster also provided an experience. That whole experience I described earlier. That's something you don't get from Netflix or Redbox. I think of it as being like a movie theater. When you pay the $10 for the ticket, you're not just paying for the movie, you're paying for the whole experience. And similar to Blockbuster, if new movies were legally able to be streamed right to people's homes, the theaters would probably become irrelevant as well. Blockbuster is a victim of the world changing around them. If they were able to tell the future, they
Cindy Crawford, yes.
Yep.
probably could have started restructuring their business model early enough to have an edge on Netflix. But I can't fault them for not knowing the future. In the early 2000s, they were in a time where they needed to make changes fast. But they weren't aware of it. Few companies would have been. Some companies aren't meant to last forever, and maybe it was just time for Blockbuster to fade into the sunset. I don't like thinking of them as the joke that they've become. I prefer to remember the positive experiences.
Me too. I'll
agree with this video, dude. Like, I'm gonna say this. Like, it's hard to turn a fucking a cruise ship, right, Julio? But it's super easier. It's super easy to turn a fishing boat. Like, small store versus gigantic chain. You can make changes on the small. Like, Netflix switched. They weren't as big as Blockbuster. They could do whatever they wanted at that point. Yeah. Blockbuster had thousands of employees, hundreds and hundreds of locations, and you can't turn that ship that fast.
No, not at all.
So it's kind of crazy. So I'm gonna this is a very fair video in my opinion. I don't think you know what, Blockbuster would have died if Netflix was there or not, dude. If there was no Netflix, it would have been fucking MGM or Hulu or.
I agree 100%, Doc. Netflix didn't have the overhead of the stores.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And they just had rental spaces where they had the shipping distribution centers, and they were just renting. They didn't own the property. Like, they didn't have to worry about that shit. Get out of those leases and move the fuck on. Yeah. So you think the guy that was fucking driving the Titanic that night wishes he was on a Boston whaler instead that night?
Yeah, I mean, and they tried.
Blockbuster saw the iceberg years in advance.
Yeah, they tried to buy a company that would compete, and it failed miserably. Yeah.
They teamed up with Enron.
Yeah.
But Enron was a big company at the time. Who wouldn't want Enron's money, right? Like, of course.
Isn't Enron a fuel company?
They got in trouble weren't they the ones that the tanker fucking crashed and made the Gulf of Mexico like all full of oil and they got in trouble? I think so. Oh,
unless there's multiple Enrons.
No, I thought Enron was the one. I thought Enron was the one that was like faking all their numbers to make them look better than they were.
You're right. You're
that could be too.
Yeah,
you're right.
I think that's what they did, and they woke up one day and they said, "Oh shit, we're not worth a penny. Like, we're dead."
Whoops. Been there.
Trying to say is to remember Shaq on the Lakers, not on the Celtics. Sure, there was a pretty significant decline toward the end, but there was a time in the early 2000s where there was no one better. I know there's hundreds of videos on YouTube already that use Shaq as a metaphor for Blockbuster, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments any thoughts you.
But yeah, it's sad. It's really, really sad.
It's a good memory, Blockbuster.
Dude, it is sad, but I just watched a video tonight on my channel about all the food products that McDonald's has had over the years that doesn't exist anymore. Like, did you guys know that McDonald's had a thing called onion bites? They were basically onion rings that looked like a tater tot. They're from the 70s, dude. I wish they had those today. Like, I would eat the fuck out of that.
Sounds all right.
Yeah,
they also had little fish nuggets instead of chicken nuggets. Like,
oh geez,
they called them fish clippers or something like that. Chippers. We all remember remember the burger, Julio?
McDLT.
Well, it was in two sides of the styrofoam.
The McDLT. You keep the cold side cold and the hot side hot, right?
Fucking A, dude. Like, what a great concept.
Kind of genius.
I don't remember any of those.
Dude,
kind of genius.
McDLT is a
McPizza? They had McPizza?
Oh, yeah, they had McPizza. Yep. There's still a store in Orlando, Florida that still serves McPizza. and they also sell mixed spaghetti.
Oh,
because spaghetti was also a thing at McDonald's too.
Mixed spaghetti.
I don't know about that.
Hey, he's still selling it at his store in Orlando. So he's obviously a franchise, and he wanted to continue it. But the McDLT is great, Derek, because and then I'm watching the fucking stupid ass person to go, well, the reason they got rid of it is because it was so toxic to our environment with the styrofoam. Shut the fuck up.
It had the double styrofoam bubbles, and you got the lettuce, tomato on the one end, onion, right? And then you got the burger and the bun on the other, I think it
Bottom
was.
half of the bun and the burger on one side, the top half of the bun with the burger or the tomato and the lettuce on the other.
God, we're old.
I don't remember those. But I do remember when McDonald's was really freaking good when I was a little kid.
Doc is right. McDLT would be perfect for today's door dashing lifestyles because there's nothing worse than ordering food from a place, even if it's Mexican, whatever, and they put the fucking cold stuff in with the hot stuff. You son of a bitch. Put that shit in another container and let me top my own burger. Stop with the nonsense, or let me put the shit on my goddamn tacos. I don't want hot lettuce. It's gross.
But what's funny is we're all reminiscing about how great Blockbuster and stuff was, but we actually could still go out and buy VHSs at our local store. We could find one. We could still go out.
Not around here, you can't.
Oh, you can buy VHS players. Go to your flea market.
I'm in Fairfax, so there's stuff around here. But the point being, if you don't want to get sucked in by modern technology, there are options not to, but people choose to. It's the nature of people.
Choose to, or they choose not to, and they just fucking are miserable assholes who didn't want to deal with anything. Like
they're like Luddites. They're just bitching about technology. I'm like, okay.
Like me and Julio were talking the other day on the phone. I go, dude, I think I'm getting old and more like understanding of other people's thoughts. And Julio says, nah, I think we're just getting old and we just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like
that's true.
Don't care.
Whatever, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Do what you do.
It's such a true statement. I still care, but I don't want to argue about it. Like I'm not going to take this gigantic. Just fucking leave me alone.
We're at the age where you don't have to explain yourself to people. We've earned that right, Dave. And Derek, you're coming up on that too at some point.
Yeah,
I was like that at like 10.
Fair. Okay, fair. Some people get there before the rest of us do.
You're dumb. You're dumb. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Dave, for stopping by.
Yeah.
Doc.
Yeah, I sent them all over here when my show ended. I say, hey, let's go watch Julio.
Scorpio. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Little trip down memory lane. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, a little trip down memory lane.
Well, yeah, we were like watching Farscape and McDonald's, and we watched some Rick and Morty shit. I love Rick
Highway.
And Morty, what else did we watch? We watched our Justice League. Those Justice League videos we've been watching, Julio. Tonight we watched one where they're interviewing people for a position with the Justice League. And it's shit rate fucking superheroes. It's so funny, man. Like they're applying to be in and these guys and the Justice League is like, yeah, we want you. And this guy's name was Adam, and he was just nuclear energy, and his suit kept the nuclear energy in. So like that's what kept him alive. So he agrees to the job, and he couldn't believe. He couldn't believe how lucky he was to get the job. So I think it was Superman walked over with the paperwork for him to sign up, and he signs it. And Superman takes the paper away, and he gives Adam a paper cut. And he says, "You motherfucker, now I am going to die." The Justice League is like, "What?" He goes, "Didn't you hear a goddamn word I said? The suit is what protects me. Now I have a paper cut. You would think that you would know how to take a piece of paper from somebody." He goes, "Now I got to fly into space. So I get out of the atmosphere and fucking kill myself." I'm like, oh my God.
I will go back and watch that show after this show.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you all. And just hopefully that nobody ever runs into a video store like this.
He's my favorite. I love Randall so much. He's the best character of all time.